High school football on SWX presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1937. Under a minute away from kickoff here between undefeated Gonzaga Prep and the Mead Panthers. Once again, joined by Grant Hannon. I am Grady Glover. Grant, I got to ask you, it's going to be a tough task. Mead without their starting quarterback. We touched on that in the open. No Landon Thomas. They're going to look for Evan Drew, the junior, to play. You played quarterback. Your first start, what's running through his head here, and kind of what do the coaching staff, need to do to maybe settle him down early?
Yeah, this is a tall order for Evan Drew coming into a hostile environment. You're playing a very, very good football team that has a lot of experience. They have a lot of seniors on their roster. So if you're Evan Drew, you're going to want to come in here, especially if you're the coaching staff, just keep things simple. Lean heavily on your playmakers. They have a really good running back. I think that's going to be a big part of their game plan going forward. And just start small. How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? You just got to chip away at this defense.
I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Max Fagau here in the early on. Mead will be receiving it to start this game. Gonzaga Prep's going to start on defense. We talked about how good that defense is, allowing less than 9 points per game. Just an unbelievable performance from their defense, and even when we looked at their starters as well, allowing even less than that through the first three quarters. Standings there from the GSL, 7-0 Gonzaga Prep at the top, Mead at 5-2. But we're here set for kickoff. Anything can happen on any given Friday night. Ball is off. Fagau back to receive it. He'll let that one go through the end zone. It'll be a touchback, Mead Panthers, and Evan Drew coming out to start at the 20-yard line. You were saying you want to get him comfortable. Do you think that Gonzaga Prep probably knows that that's going to be the game plan, assuming they're probably going to load the box and force Drew to throw the ball here?
Yeah, I think you're right. If I'm Gonzaga Prep, I'm really going to make this quarterback who's in his first start just beat us through the air all night. And so I think you're exactly right. They're going to pack the box. And if you're Mead, that's your game plan. That's your bread and butter. And we'll just see, who outlasts who.
Got to go with what got you here. It's Evan Drew. Got Dustin Johnson to his left. Fagau going to get the first handoff of the game, and that one will go nowhere. Prep all over it, and he's dragged down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by number 13, Nehemiah Areta.
I think that's smart. They started off with a run. That's your playmaker. You want to give him the ball, and you want to get your quarterback and your running back both comfortable early on. They have some jitters. This is a very loud atmosphere. You just want to get them settled down, just get the flow of the game.
Second 11 here from the 19 now. Drew in the shotgun. Going to take the snap. Going to throw it. Goes right back to Fagau on the right side. He struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage once again. That tackle by Spencer Paulson, the senior. G-Prep, their defensive line, 4 seniors, 3 linebackers, 2 of them are seniors, and then you look at the back end, 3 of their 4 DBs are safeties as well. Just so much experience for this Gonzaga Prep team, really on both sides of the ball. Going to be a 3rd down and 11 early on here for the Mead Panthers offense. We'll see if the coaching staff wants to let Drew air this one out, try and pick it up here. If they go more conservative, back to Fagau. Fagau's in there. Now he's sent back, split out to the left. Snap back to Drew. Going to let this one rip. That one too high. Looking for number 20, the tight end, Garrett Miller. That one sails wide, and it'll be a 3-and-out for Mead.
Now, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse here, but I already think that first drive of the game tells me a lot about what Mead is looking to do throughout the course of this ball game. And it tells me a lot about what this game is going to look like as a whole. Really just because they let their quarterback, who's in his first start, drop back and just let one fly. And I'm really good, I'm glad that he had the confidence to even just put the ball in play.
Tough balls out on the punt. It's recovered by Gonzaga Prep. We'll see if they call it a touchdown. And they will. The punter couldn't hold on to it. And number 22 for Gonzaga Prep, Andrew Yarno, falls on it for the touchdown. Mead goes 3-and-out, and then a special teams leads to a quick touchdown for G-Prep, and that's exactly what the Bullpups would have wanted to start this game.
I didn't get a great look at the kicker. I think he just bobbled the ball from the snap, but really heads up play by Gonzaga Prep special teams.
Paul Davidow out for the extra point for Prep. That one is up, and it is good. 10:39, less than a minute and a half into the game, and it's 7-0 Prep. Yes, snap was just a little bit high there. Was definitely a tough one. We'll take a look at it. See, it's up. He grabs it, and then it just goes right through his hands. And then you're just in scramble mode, doing whatever you can to fall on the ball. He's unable to. and then Yarno is the one that's going to get on top of it. And it's a quick turn of events there and a quick 7-0 lead for the Bullpups.
You know, Grady, having a really well-coached special teams unit is really, I think, a sign of a well-coached football team as a whole. And probably the unsung hero of this Gonzaga prep team, I remember in this Mount Spokane game that I called a couple weeks ago, that really gave them a hot start to the game, and they scored a couple times or at least got really good field position in that game, and I think you're seeing it here as well.
See if Mead can do something with it on their second drive. They're going to be right back out there to receive the football once again. Again, Paul Davidow going to be set to kick this one off. Obviously, not the start at all that you envisioned for your head coach Kyle Snell in his first season with the Panthers. 5-2 this year. Team has shown lots of great flashes. They fell last week to Cheney 34-14. Looking to come back out here, really shock some people with a win against Gonzaga Prep, and now they're going to have to do it down touchdown early on. This one fielded by the up man. It's Tice Tuggle. Tuggle's going to get it back across almost to the 30-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. You think that touchdown is going to affect the way that, maybe the second drive goes for the Mead Panthers? Obviously, they looked like they were comfortable letting Drew sling it around there early on.
Yeah, I think you got to get back to basics. You notice that they don't kick to Mead's star running back there at the start of the second drive, but I think you're going to have to set the tone with the run on this drive.
Looks like they picked up the flag, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 27 for Drew and the Panthers. Split to his right is up back Dustin Johnson. Fagau right behind him. Drew takes the snap. Hands off to Fagau. Fagau, a little hole, but nothing doing there. Ren Jackson, the senior linebacker, really the stud and the captain of this defense. Middle linebacker, 1 interception on the season for Ren Jackson. And, I mean, you saw them play Mount Spokane. Seems like that guy's everywhere.
Yeah, he does a great job. Their defensive line really just collapses the pocket pretty quickly and doesn't give opposing offenses really a lot of time to do much at all.
Evan Drew going to have to get rid of the ball quickly. Gonzaga Prep's seasoned defensive line is in the backfield on almost every play, it seems. This one's 2nd and 10 now from the 28. Drew, snap back. Got an open man, gets it to his tight end. Garrett Miller with the catch, and he'll move the chains. First completion and the first down for the Panthers.
That's a really promising throw right there, right on the money, great strike. I think that gives your offense a lot of confidence going forward that, hey, maybe this backup can do the job.
Yeah, we talked to head coach Snell. He was saying that he's got a lot of confidence in Evan Drew. He's a junior and really just been waiting for his opportunity, and coach does have full trust that he can run the full offense. They don't have to, pare it down to something he can handle. They said they're going to be able to go out there. On 1st down this time, they give it back to Fagau, looking for room once again. It's a whole gang of Bullpups there, and a gain of just 1. Ren Jackson and Will Jackson both in on the tackle for the stop. 2nd down and 8.
And you look at Evan Drew's performance in Cheney playing in that second half when the starter went down. Really didn't play that badly at all on the stat sheet. So I think they have a lot of confidence in him going forward, and it seems like they're going to have a pretty balanced approach tonight.
4 touchdowns, no interceptions for Evan Drew. You can see there, 18 for 27 on the season, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, which is what you like to see out of your quarterback, and a rushing touchdown as well. Now here is Drew, but that one blown dead, and a flag quickly.
Yeah, those are very solid numbers for a backup. No doubt about it.
Encroachment on the defense will shorten up this 2nd down. Move it to 2nd down and 3 as the Panthers approach the 50-yard line. Also would assume if you're head coach Snell, you really want to, obviously they love to run the ball regardless with Fagau, but here you really want to, limit Gonzaga Prep's possessions, try and, grind the clock out, make this a low possession game, to try and really keep your team in this one.
Yeah, you already gave him a freebie, but 2nd and short, you can really open up the playbook.
Drew standing at the 42, takes the snap. Another pause in the game time here. And this time it's a false start, so we'll roll it right back to where it originally was. It'll be 2nd down and 8 again.
This is what you can't do if you're Mead. If you're playing a team as good as Gonzaga Prep, you cannot shoot yourself in the foot with penalties. You have to pretty much play as perfect of a game as you can put together, and penalties early on your second drive, just not going to do it.
2 receivers to the right for Evan Drew. Takes a snap, looks right, goes right back across the middle. That time it's intercepted. Picked off by number 5, Jack Pierce. That's his 4th pick of the season in just 8 games. Had 2 pick sixes in 1 game, and now he grabs his 4th of the year. Evan Drew floating that one across the middle, was looking for Garrett Miller. Just a little bit too much air on that one, and it goes right into the arms of Jack Pierce.
Well, he's one of their stars on their defense. You always have to have eyes on where he is, and if you float a ball just too high over the middle, he's going to hurt you.
Now right back out to work here. The first time we'll get to see the Gonzaga Prep offense led out here by quarterback Sam Kincaid. Kincaid takes a snap. Now he's going to keep it himself. And right there, the Mead Panthers to bottle that one up. Dustin Johnson there to make the stop, no gain. Sam Kincaid just had an unbelievable season so far. Most importantly, I think what we've seen, no interceptions from your quarterback, and I think that's, the way, if you're looking at the blueprint on how to get to 7-0, it's don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and Gonzaga Prep always has been, probably always will be, a run-first offense, but really him not turning the ball over and being really good through the air has helped elevate their offense to kind of new levels.
Pitch out to number 8, Jonah Keller. He's got a lot of room. He's across the 40, now down to the 30. Makes a man miss at the 25, and he's all the way down to the 15. Just like that, Prep knocking on the doorstep. 1 touch by Jonah Keller, and he takes it for 40-plus.
He's so good at turning the corner. That's one of the things he likes to do best, is just meet you in open field.
Looked like he was going to step out about the 45, and like you said, he just turns the corner, gets by 1 defender right there at the 35, gets another 20 on that carry, ball down inside of the 15-yard line. First down and 10 for the Bullpups. Looking to go up 2 scores here early. This time it's a handoff. Jimmy Granger up the middle for a modest gain. Gonzaga Prep has at least 10 people on their roster listed at running back. I mean, we got Jonah Keller, Jimmy Granger, Nico Alexander, Andrew Yarno. I mean, so many guys that can tote the rock. Just a wealth for Gonzaga Prep, and just something so difficult to stop for the Mead defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonzaga Prep traditionally has a loose definition of the word running back, that's for sure, but they like to use them in a lot of interesting ways.
On the motion there, this time Kincaid to the air, wants the end zone. Isaiah Dockin, he gets 1 foot down. Do the refs agree? They do. It's a touchdown. And just like that, Gonzaga Prep through the air. They can do it on the ground as well. Kincaid to Isaiah Dockin, the 6'5" receiver for the touchdown. There is a flag on the play. We'll see if it came after. But as for now, G Prep up 13-0.
Gonzaga Prep actually beat me to the punch. I was just going to make a point that Dockin at 6'5" has such a size advantage in the red zone that you really can just toss him a jump ball, and they have several times this season, and just let him go up and grab one.
Unsportsmanlike conduct play there on Isaiah Dockin after scoring the touchdown. A little bit too much energy after he scores that one, but the touchdown will stand. It's 13-0, extra point away from making it 14-0 early on. Just an incredible performance from G Prep, exactly what I'm sure they drew up early. Get a stop, ends up blocking the punt or getting the punt recovery for a touchdown. Then you go out, you get a pick, and you're able to go up 14-0. Mead going to try and answer on the backside of this break. You're watching high school football on SWX. High school football on SWX, brought to you in part by Findlay Downtown Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay, and by Top Dog Plumbing and Drain. Locally owned and operated, our pledge is to bring you unmatched service and expertise for your home or business. Don't settle for a good dog. Go for the top dog. And it is the Bullpups that are up 14-0, 6:20 left in the first quarter. Let's take another look at that touchdown. Sam Kincaid, all the confidence in the world to go to his 6'5" receiver. What'd you see on that one?
Well, he does a great job of getting his foot down, but I think it's really just the size advantage here and the great hands by Doc and that show up time and time again for the Gonzaga Bullpups.
So it's another touchdown for Dawkin. That's his 8th on the season in just 8 games. The 19th passing touchdown from Sam Kincaid. After the 15-yard penalty, they'll be kicking off from the 25. It's a squib kick. See who picks this one up for Mead. Still on the ground. Finally scooped up by the Panthers and returned just to the 35-yard line. Number 28, Hayden Coons on that one, and this is where Mead will start. And talking to Coach Snell earlier this week, said that for the last couple weeks, Mead been a little bit inconsistent, Grant, and just really hoping to see, a good response, but also just really great effort from the Panthers today.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming after a tough loss against Cheney. All three are great programs and good football teams this year, but this coming down to the end of the season is really when you start to understand what your team's made of going into playoffs and how you're going to respond to adversity, especially against a great team like this, which are not going to be few and far between going into the postseason.
Back out is Evan Drew, and Fagal to his right. Counter with Fagal. Actually, it's kept there by Evan Drew, and Drew tackled on the opposite side of the field, dropped for a loss. Great play fake, faked out me and faked out the cameras there. Fagal didn't have it. Drew, though, still dropped in the backfield for a loss of 1.
Well, really a gift to start this drive from Gonzaga Prep to Mead with great field position, not really understanding why they did the squib kick. I can understand not kicking to their best running back over there in the corner, but looks like a little bit of an RPO going out of there. I think the quarterback made the right read of taking the ball. Looks like he wanted to throw it to his receiver. Nothing was open, kind of just lived to play another down.
In addition to Landon Thomas being out, Travell Jones, one of the Mead's top receivers, also out for this game. So they'll be looking already a couple targets for the tight end Garrett Miller, but Ryan Tallarico and Lee Colombe, great receivers for the Panthers as well. They're split out right here for Evan Drew on this second down. Drew fakes the screen. That time gets it across the middle. That one grabbed by Kyle Kilman, the junior, and he's up close to, and we'll see if they give him the first down. They will wave it across, and it's a first down for the Panthers.
Another strike by Evan Drew. Really more success than we've seen from a lot of opposing offenses against Gonzaga Prep. Just a couple times they've shot themselves in the foot tonight, and they're down 14-0.
Looked like he was looking for the bubble screen, and then right there, Kilman just kind of slips in behind it. You have a down player for Gonzaga Prep. So Mead almost back to the 50. This is kind of right where they were last time, and then, like we said, hurting themselves with the interception. Now you reset. Obviously, you're down 2 scores, but if you're Mead, seems like a time you really want to, continue, sustain drive, get down there in the red zone. Obviously, you want points of any kind, but a touchdown would be huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Their offensive game plan right now seems to be going against the narrative, and they've been passing a lot more. I really like getting a young quarterback out in the move. I think that's really helpful. Just kind of slow the game down. If nothing's open, just run.
This time it's a handoff to Fagal. Drags a defender with him as he gets across the 50. Tackle made there by Spencer Paulson, number 33. Injured player was Brock Gustafson, but he gets up and walks off the field. Hopefully he'll be back on the field here shortly. Gain of 6, best run of the day for Fagal. And it's a second down from the G-Prep 48. First time the ball's been on the plus side of the field here for the Panthers.
I really like the composure from the Mead offense so far, and their front 5 have really been holding up well.
Drew on a second down. Right back to Fagal. Fagal's got a little hole. He hits it hard. Pushes his way to the 40. And it'll bring up a short third down and 1. Really can't say enough about Max Fagal and what he means to this team. 6 yards per carry. I mean, I think any head coach, in high school is going to take that no matter what. 8 touchdowns through 7 games, now playing in his 8th. A couple receiving touchdowns as well. I mean, I'm assuming that when, he heard coach probably coming up to him, hey, Max, we're going to be really leaning on you once again. He's probably excited for it.
Yeah, he's probably chomping at the bit. And interesting here that Prep is kind of getting a taste of their own medicine right now with the pistol look from Mead. A lot of teams really don't use the fullback to the full advantage nowadays.
Another handoff to Fagau across the 40. It'll be a first down. And Fagau starting to get going here, as on that one picks up another first down, ball down to the 38 of Gonzaga Prep.
And this is exactly what you need to do if you're Mead, is get Gonzaga Prep in uncharted territory. They really haven't been knocked back on their heels as far as the defense. And so just getting the momentum, just moving the chains, I think that's exactly what the doctor ordered right now.
Making a lot of use of number 49, Dustin Johnson, as the up back, been leading the way for Fagau all day. 1st and 10. Drew back to pass this time. One time to Fagau. Caught out of big gainer. Another first down. Mead's on the move.
Great just pitch and catch from Evan Drew right there. He actually had two guys open in the flat. I think that might be a really key component of their offense going forward, is just making those short throws. Just don't be a hero ball, and just keep on moving the chains.
Ball down now inside the 30, sitting at the 26, 1st and 10. Fagau back there with Drew to pass again. Going to go a little screen route out. This one wrapped up and dropped quickly by a whole gang of Bullpups. That one caught by number 9, Lee Colombe, and a couple of Bullpups there to make the stop. 2nd down at 9. Now ball sitting right at the 25. Just seems like every play you got multiple Bullpups there to make the tackle. 2nd down and 9 from the 25 for the Panthers. Drew hands it right off to Fagau. It's dropped in the backfield. Tackle by Aiden James. Another one of the Prep D linemen in the hurry. Drops him well behind the line of scrimmage, and this one's going to bring up a long 3rd down and 13 here for Mead. Ball sitting at the 30-yard line.
You mentioned it a moment ago, Prep does a great job of rallying to the ball and just wrapping up. It's really hard to break a tackle against this defense, and this is exactly where they want the Mead offense. In 3rd and long situations, relying on a young quarterback to really just go down a distance.
You got Colombe and Tarico split out left here. See if Evan Drew wants to target one of them. He does drop back, looking deep, throws it deep. This one's tipped and almost making the grab. Believe that touched the ground. They say it will. 22, Andrew Yarno trying to make the interception there, but that one is dropped and incomplete. Now 4th down and 13, balls at the 30. We have 47-yard field goal. Another look at it from Drew. It's a good throw. Just a better pass break up there from Jacoby McClellan, and then almost Andrew Yarno just can't quite get his hands on it for the 2nd Bullpup interception of the night.
Yeah, almost a textbook tip drill there. If you're the Prep defense, they've done a great job of really just doing a shell coverage and being all over the field. It looks like they almost have more than 11 guys out there. But if you're the Mead offense, you really can't turn the ball over in this situation. You got to come with at least 3 points.
Here we go, 4th down. They're going to go for on 4th and 13. Going deep, but there's nobody there. But this one's picked off by Jacoby McClellan. I don't know that he can take a knee there if they're going to call that a touchback. He caught that at about the 2-yard line, but they are going to say that the momentum took him into the end zone. And that'll be a touchdown for Gonzaga Prep. Jacoby McClellan, his 2nd pick of the day. And the Bullpups once again turn away the Panthers as they had their most successful drive of the night, but that one turned away on 4th down. It'll be going back to Gonzaga Prep on offense.
Yeah, interesting ruling there. I'm not sure I've quite seen a player under his own will and power go back into the end zone and take a knee.
Take another look at this one. We'll see where Jacoby McClellan intercepts it. Now the momentum can take him into the end zone, but he catches this ball on the 4-yard line. I mean, yeah, it would be really difficult for himself to stop there, so that is what the refs are going to rule. Offense, and here's Sam Kincaid right up the gut, and look who's there to make the tackle. It's Max Fagau. But a gain of 5 or 6 here for Kincaid and the G-Prep offense. Right back to it here for Gonzaga Prep. Kincaid's got Dawkin. Bottom of your screen. 2nd down and 4. Motion. Kincaid keeping it on the option. He's across the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle. He's across the 50, picks up a block, and he's out at the Mead 40-yard line. Block there from Dylan Kroll. was the one that really sprung him loose for the last 10 yards there. And Kincaid and the G-Prep offense just once again running all over the field.
Yeah, Mead was in a cover 4 look there, so they dropped 4 back, and really it's just as simple as Sam Kincaid doing an excellent job of reading the GM. They crashed the end really hard, and he just pulled, made a great play.
First down from the 40 for the Bullpups. Snap to Kincaid, handoff, goes to Jimmy Granger. That one goes nowhere. Good stop there from the Panthers. Stopped by number 88, Joshua Weekly, on the tackle.
Aside from that big play just a moment ago, Mead's front 4 has really done an excellent job of containing the run and doing their job, which is much easier said than done. But this is where Prep really starts to be a trouble on offense, because they have so many weapons at the receiver as well, and Sam Kincaid has done an excellent job throwing the ball.
Kincaid on 2nd and 9, going to roll out to his right, looking to go deep. He is going to go deep, looking for his man. Defender all over him. Flags do not come out. That one's incomplete. Was looking for Jonah Keller on the deep ball, but good coverage there by Mead. That's Luke Marchessault defending corners. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Mead with a chance to get the defense off the field.
This is huge right now. If you're Mead, trying not to let this game get away from you.
It'll be 3rd down and 9. Kincaid obviously not afraid to throw the ball. Gonzaga Prep loves to run it there on those early downs, but now 3rd and 9, obvious pass situation. See where they dial it up. It's going to be a quick throw out to Doc and a low throw. Doc has got to make a couple people miss, and he will. He'll get close, and I believe he's going to get enough for the 1st down. Also, flag comes down in the backfield. Might have been for a late hit. Right at the 30, which is the line to gain. Have not seen a motion yet from the ref. Maybe they're going to come out to measure this one. But really a great play there by Doc, and they are going to move the sticks. It'll be a 1st down, and we'll see what the penalty is going to be.
Just an excellent play call there from Gonzaga Prep. Their safeties are far back. They're expecting a long pass. Sam Kincaid has done that time and time again this season, and they just go right underneath their linebackers for a screen to their playmaker, Dawkin.
Dawkin caught that ball about 9-10 yards away from the 1st down, made a couple defenders miss, and it was a late hit there on Sam Kincaid. So now the ball's all the way down to the 15. And less than 10 seconds left in the 1st quarter. See if they're just going to let this one run out. 1 second left. And that will be the end of the 1st quarter. 14-0. Gonzaga Prep on top and threatening once again. 2nd quarter action coming up here. Tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. Second quarter here at Gonzaga Prep, leading 14-0 over the Mead Panthers. Ball at the 15-yard line, a chance for G-Prep to go up again. Joined by Grant Hannon, I am Grady Glover. And Grant, you played quarterback at Central Valley. Mead and G-Prep, both with some talented quarterbacks here. Sam Kincaid, though, 18 touchdowns, no interceptions. What have you seen from him so far?
Well, he's played a pretty perfect game. You can call Gonzaga Prep quarterbacks game managers, but I really wouldn't classify Kincaid as that. He's pretty atypical as far as Gonzaga Prep traditional quarterbacks are concerned because, like we mentioned earlier in this broadcast, he's been perfect as far as turnovers are concerned, and he's done a great job on all phases this year.
And he's got legs, and then he tosses it to Nico Alexander, and that is what's so dangerous when you got a guy like Kincaid back there. He can make the passes. They got to respect that. They can't just load the box. An incredible, another run there from Nico Alexander, but there is a flag down about the 7-yard line. Going to be a hold on the offense. This one will bring it back. But like you said, Sam Kincaid, a lot of times Gonzaga Prep can just, hand the ball off. You got Jonah Keller, Jimmy Granger, Nico Alexander, but Kincaid doing a lot of the lifting himself.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier how many running backs they have in the backfield there, especially the way their offense is set up. But you spend too much time focusing on Keller or any other number of weapons they have in the backfield, then all of a sudden Kincaid, like we saw earlier in this quarter, will break out a run for 35.
Kincaid might be the leading rusher so far for this team tonight with a couple big ones. He's got Jimmy Granger behind him, Nico Alexander to his right. This time it's a handoff right up the middle to Granger, getting dragged down, and a good tackle there by number 20, Garrett Miller. Also the tight end, and he's had as much success on defense as he had on offense. Had a catch early, makes that stop on Granger. 2nd down and 10 for the Bullpups.
Yeah, that action is something that you're going to see a lot from Gonzaga Prep all season, really. It's just that long mesh with the running back going straight down the middle, and then you have an option down on the outside.
This time Kincaid keeps it himself, throws the slant route behind his goal. A little bit of contact, but the ball behind Kroll there. No flag. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Bullpups. Mead defense really needs a stop here. We said that last time. They got him in. They throw a screen to Dawkins. They pick up 12 plus a 15-yard penalty. Now they're down inside the red zone, and once again, Mead going to need a stop.
Yeah, this is really a huge down for Mead's defense and their team as a whole, because if you can limit Prep to 3 points here and you're only down 17, maybe you get one score before the end of the half, you're right back in this game.
3rd and 10, 2 receivers right, 1 left for Kincaid. Motion man goes out to right. Kincaid drops back, looking right, throws the slant route, and it is deflected by Max Fagau. Brings up a 4th down and 10. Fagau reading the eyes of Kincaid there, and it looks like the Bullpups are going to bring out the field goal unit.
Fagau did a great job. Looks like he's almost in a spy there, just kind of watching the quarterback's eyes in the middle and got a hand on it.
At some point, going to have to go to somebody other than Fagau, but he's been everywhere. Just gets his hand on that one. Had an open receiver. That was Kroll. So out comes number 47, Paul Davidow, for the field goal. It is up. It's got the distance, and that one looks to be pure. It's straight through, and it's 17-0. Gonzaga Prep up on top. That'll bring us to our keys to the game tonight, presented by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. These are your keys to the game. Grant, he said, set the tone early. Seems like the Bullpups been doing just that.
Yeah, absolutely. A word for Gonzaga Prep's offense is tempo. They like to start fast. They've done that here, and really kind of a textbook first half for them. On defense, they need to win first down, especially with a backup quarterback coming in. You want to put them in long 3rd down situations and force them to pass the ball. Now, for Mead, I think it's really important. You need to establish the run. We've talked about it at length tonight. You have to go to your veteran running back. You have to use him as a workhorse. He's done a great job tonight, and then we'll see if they continue to do so. And then on defense, you have to limit big plays. If you're going to beat this Gonzaga Prep offense, you have to limit their explosiveness. They really like to just have 35 yards here and then a pass to Dawkins on the corner. You have to just limit those chunk plays and just keep everything in front of you.
Seems like so far the explosive plays have been the difference. Gonzaga Prep obviously had the muffed punt recovered in the end zone, and then really about a two-play drive that ended in that Dawkins touchdown. But both teams now with drives of their own that worked out pretty well. Here's Max Fagau on the return, out to about the 35.
Fagau actually running in front of his own return man, and he said, I'm going to take this myself.
Fagau doing it all, had the pass breakup on third down in the red zone for his defense. Now he runs right back out there to field the kick, and he'll be right back out there to be the running back as well. They also have Tice Tuggle. We've seen him return one of the kicks so far, but he also a very competent running back, 6 yards per carry for Tuggle, and he's got 3 touchdowns. It's Evan Drew. Tuggle is in the backfield as well, but it is Fagau, the running back, out there as the Panthers start their next drive. First down and 10 from the 33, looking for their first point. Going to be an end around to Tuggle. Tuggle's got a blocker, and he takes off, and he just gets his jersey grabbed at the 50. A great play there from Tice Tuggle as he's dragged down at the Gonzaga Prep 47. If they didn't get his jersey, Tuggle might still be running.
Really great blocking here by the lead blocker. Tuggle actually outruns his blockers. If it wasn't for that jersey being a little too stretchy, he might have been at the house.
Andrew Yarno just gets enough of that one to slow him down. Tuggle's got to get a smaller jersey next week. Maybe he's still running into the end zone. It's another first down, this time at the 47 of Gonzaga Prep for Evan Drew and the Panthers. Now they're running the same offense that Prep's running. This time it's an inside handoff. That one goes to Dustin Johnson, the up back, for a gain of 4.
Mead with a pretty balanced approach so far tonight. I really like how they're attacking the angle on the outside with a really veteran and really adept player like Pierce in the backfield, or in the at safety, rather. It's going to be hard to attack them downfield, so you're going to have to chip away on the outsides and really just limit where your big plays, and you're going to take a shot downfield.
Just one receiver split out each side here for the Panthers. Got a lot of guys crowded around the line of scrimmage here. 2 running backs in the backfield. They will throw it, looking for Fagau. Now Evan Drew's going to roll out, and he's going to throw that one just high as he's looking for his receiver, Ryan Tallarico. Looked like Drew had some room to run there, but he said, let's that one go a little bit high, and it'll bring up third down.
He felt the pressure, did a great job of escaping the pocket. Prep brought in an extra rusher on the outside there, but they've been playing a cover 3 pretty steady tonight. I think you're going to see a lot more of that. Really just live to play another down in this situation.
Third down and 6, ball sitting at the 43 for the Panthers. We already saw him go for it on 4th and 13 from about the 25-yard line. Assuming they want to get, obviously, a couple yards, but I would not be surprised if this is 2-down territory here for the Panthers even early in this game. Snap back to Drew. Drew's looking deep, pressure on him, trying to escape. He's way back now, getting dragged down, going to try and toss it up, and that one will go incomplete. Was a receiver in the area, Kyle Kilman, but it'll bring up 4th down and 6.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to make sure to get that ball to the line of scrimmage. I would have liked to see them get Drew on the move there and do a little bit more of a levels approach, but on a 3rd and long, Prep just brought the pressure and it was too much for their front line.
Nehemiah Areta, the first one, almost got to him. Then is Ren Jackson, who eventually does bring him down. That one falls incomplete. And they'll bring out Donovan Damiano to punt this one away back to the Bullpups.
You got to be careful here. This is where Prep can really hurt you, is on a big return on a punt.
Ball is away. This one going to land at the 10. Rolls. It's picked up right at the 1-yard line, but past a couple defenders, and now some room to run with it. Gonzaga Prep with a big return. We'll see if they'll go all the way. It's Jack Pierce. Nobody is going to catch him. He's all the way into the end zone for another touchdown for the Bullpups. A 99-yard touchdown from Gonzaga Prep. It's Jack Pierce. You said he'd been making plays all day on the back end of the safety room. Says he wants to score one for some special teams points as well. 23-0 Prep up top. I mean, I would say every coach tells you don't field that ball at the 1-yard line, but when you're Jack Pierce, you go to the sideline and say, well, what about if I can just do that?
I think you're right. He was almost moments away from just letting it go in the end zone. If it didn't bounce right to him, he might have done otherwise, but all the better for Prep tonight.
There is a flag down at the 45. The refs are huddling around it. Here comes the call from the official. It would wipe out a big return, and it is going to be on Gonzaga Prep, a personal foul. It's going to be 15 yards from the spot. So Gonzaga Prep will hold on to the ball, but that one will eliminate a huge return touchdown from Jack Pierce. Bullpups offense will come back out. First down should be from the Gonzaga Prep 40.
Yeah, really a morale booster if you're the Mead offense, or defense rather. I mean, and not being down so much to start the second half, but gosh, just an explosive play there by Jack Pierce. He's really good in open field even for a defensive player, but he's shown that time and time again this season. If you give him that much room and you don't wrap up in your tackles, he's going to hurt you.
So it'll be Kincaid in the offense back out. Ball's at the 40. 17-0 Gonzaga Prep on top. 8:50 remaining here in this first half.
That play might just have to be demoted to his huddle, I think. Unfortunately, not for the scoreboard.
I think the fans were really upset about the block in the back called there, but I think probably nobody more disappointed in that call than Jack Pierce gets his touchdown wiped off. Now they're trying to adjust the scoreboard here. It says 23-0. Score should be 17-0. The officials try to get that one corrected. Gonzaga Prep offense, they're probably not too sad about it. Now they get to go and, they say, well, we'll just go drive the length of the field anyway.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Kincaid or a number one of these stars in this offense, you say, well, now I get a turn to go in the end zone.
Would have been the second special teams touchdown of the night already for Gonzaga Prep. Instead, that one's wiped. Trying to get it taken off the scoreboard, and now they'll count it back down. 17-0, Gonzaga Prep on top. We're set to go again. Kincaid got Jimmy Granger to his left. First down and 10 from their own 40. Kincaid, snap. Handoff goes to Granger. Ball's out. Mead says they have it. They do. And exactly what the Panthers needed. One play after a punt return touchdown gets called back. The Panthers get the ball back for their offense. Exactly what they needed. They rip it out of the arms of Granger, and the Panthers fall on it.
Great job. Just a heads-up play there. You can see the enthusiasm on Mead's sideline. I think this could really do a lot for them. Dustin Johnson there getting on the ball as far as just sparking some life into this offense.
An incredible play there. Johnson falls on it. Panthers rip it out. Now they got first and 10 at the G-Prep 42. Quick turn of events. Evan Drew, quick out to Fagau on the left. Picks up a block, and he's down inside the 40.
That's exactly what I think Mead needs to do the rest of this game. Both their picks are on long-distance possessions, and just the quarterback floats it a little too high, which is fine, but going forward, you really need to just attack the sides of this defense and just keep it simple.
Try and get the ball to Fagau with him in motion and really just let him do the rest. He's proven he can do it all season. Second down and 7 for the Panthers. Ball inside the 40. 8:12 left in the second quarter. Plenty of time here for Mead to score and get themselves right back in it before halftime. Snap goes to Fagau. Handoff. He's got some room, pushing his way up the middle, and he'll be just about a yard shy of the first down as he barrels his way to the 33.
Well, I think you got to give it to him again, Grady. What do you think?
I mean, why not? It's been working for him. I think a lot of times the coaching staff's been looking for those, short screen passes here. Obviously, Gonzaga Prep knows that that's probably what they're going to go with. They go hard count. Doesn't get him to go. Mead will reset, get the new play call, but I'm assuming, like you said, they're going to go to Fagau here and trust their guy to pick up 1 yard for him.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go with the lead back and just go right at the middle and try to get a couple yards.
Evan Drew takes the snap. It does go right to Fagau. Gonzaga Prep is all over it. Fagau pushing his way and almost gets back to the line of scrimmage, but he is dropped in the backfield. Nehemiah Areta immediately in the backfield to make a tackle. Now it's 4th down and 2. Offense showing no signs of coming off. Believe they got to go for this one.
Yeah, that's the smart move. You got great field position. You want to get some points on the board before half. I think you got to go on 4th and short.
Just crashing around the edge there was Nehemiah Areta, playing D-end there, getting around. I believe it was one of the pulling offensive linemen. But now we got a 4th down and 2. couple players in the backfield. This one a handoff to Fagau. He's got some room. Breaks another tackle at the 20. He's down inside the 10. Finally dragged down inside the 6. They needed 2. And he goes for 20. Max Fagau inside the 10-yard line. That is why you trust your senior back with it. They knew if they didn't get it on 3rd, they'd give it to him on 4th, and he's not going to get stopped twice.
Wow, flashes of Frank Gore there just going up the middle. Everybody in the stadium, I think, knew who the ball was going to and where it was going to go, but he couldn't stop him.
Fagau now gets a breather. They got Hayden Coons in at running back. Evan Drew takes the snap. He's going to go to Coons. Coons off the end, and he's in for the touchdown. Mead Panthers strike back. Extra point will make it 17-7. An incredible drive there from the Panthers, and the Panthers have some momentum.
Wow, incredible job by Mead's offense of just going back to what they do best, and that's the run game.
Hayden Coons, his 4th rushing touchdown, also has one through the air this season. Comes in to give Fagau a breather, and then Coons just tokes that one in for 6. Extra point up on the way from Damiano, and that one is good. 17-7 Mead. Immediately right back in this one. That's exactly what you'd want to see as the Panthers. Coons takes it, gets around the edge, and just carries the defender into the end zone.
Great job blocking on the outside there.
Will Jackson almost making that touchdown saving tackle, but Coons, the junior, just a little too strong there, pulls him into the end zone. Coach Snell also talked about the junior class, just how impressive they have been. He didn't know necessarily what he was gonna get from them. A small senior class this year, and really you look at it, multiple receivers, a lot of their running backs. I mean, just a lot of juniors on this field as of right now in the starting lineup, with no Travell Jones and no Landon Thomas, who are both seniors. Max Fagau, and then besides the offensive line and the skill positions, Max Fagau the only senior right now.
Yeah, you've seen his leadership show up on the defensive side of the ball and just on that possession last year, or just now. And to the coach's point, I think this is a really important game to see what your team is made of, especially with a lot of younger players on this team that really don't have a lot of Friday night light experience.
On the flip side, Gonzaga Prep, who's about to get the ball back, pretty much an entirely senior-loaded offense and defense, really, for them, that have carried them through this season to be undefeated at this point. They're up 17-7, 6:12 left in the first half as we await kickoff. And Gonzaga Prep going to get the ball back.
Well, what a turn of events from a couple plays. You got a callback punt return, and then all of a sudden, this is a ball game now.
Almost 24-0 on that punt return, like you said. Instead, it's a touchdown for Mead. And here come the Bullpups with it out of the end zone. Making a couple defenders miss. And now another kick return out across the 45. This time it's Nico Alexander that gets it to the 47. Just every time that the Bullpups touch the ball, it's a potential for an explosive play.
Yeah, that's really been teams' Achilles' heels when they play the Gonzaga Prep team, is they just fall asleep on the special teams side of the ball, and then all of a sudden the ball's at the 50, and this is a whole lot of an easier situation for Gonzaga Prep's team with 6 minutes left.
Instead of having to drive, 80 yards if you get a touchback there, now just 52 yards away from pay dirt here as Kincaid in the offense trots back out. He's got Jimmy Granger to his left. Motion man's Jonah Keller. Pitch does go to Keller. He's got a lead blocker across the 50. And he's going to trot back out at the 43, close for another first down.
Kincaid slow to get up. He took a big shot there, delivering the pitch.
Just tough there for Kincaid and Granger as well. They do such a good job at faking out the ball. A lot of times the defenders think they still have it, so you end up getting slammed even when it's not your turn to tote the rock. But it is a first down for the Bullpups. Takes the snap. Play action to Granger. It's a throwback to Isaiah Dawkins. Catch it at the 40. Got a lot of room to the 30. And then he's going to step out just before the 25-yard line. Marked out at the 26. Another pickup of 14 on first down for Gonzaga Prep.
Well, they did the flood screen to Dawkins earlier. Now just kind of a pick play to the sideline and just uses speed and the size of their advantage. And they picked up a first down.
Dawkins there with a great block from Johnny Dory, the offensive lineman, getting out there in a hurry to get his receiver free. Kincaid now, first down. Kincaid's going to keep it around the edge, puts his head down right around the 20, and he's tackled down at the 17. First down pickup of 8 for Kincaid.
Now that's the second time that they've been burned on a QB pull in the read option. Kincaid doing a really good job of reading that defense, and if they crash the end, he's going to take advantage of it.
Granger there was the handoff man that got bottled up quickly, so Kincaid pulls it, takes it for a gain of 8. Ball now inside the red zone once again for the Bullpups. Snap. This time they will give it to Granger. Not a lot of room there, but should be enough, and it will be for the first down. Ball inside the 15 down to the 14.
You might be sensing a pattern, Grady, from Gonzaga Prep's offense. They like to do a run up the middle, they like to do it outside, and then they're going to try to get their ball to Dawkins in one way or another.
Seems like every third down they're calling his number. It's a first down and 10. Dawkins at the top of your screen. Nico Alexander down at the bottom. Kincaid with Granger to his right. Snap. Tries to get the pitch off, but he's smothered in the backfield. 72 with the tackle for Mead. Right there for the stop is Cooper Daines, the senior, immediately in the backfield. No time to get that ball off, and it's a huge loss.
Great job of shedding the block there and just getting to the quarterback really quickly. And that's going to pay dividends later on in this game, because if you can get the quarterback who's got a really difficult job of looking at many different defenders and he's got lots of people moving in the backfield, if you can get in his head of, okay, now I have a defender coming at me and I don't know where I'm pitching to, I mean, that can really impact the ball game.
Cooper Daines, an impact player, committed to play at Washington State next year with the big loss. Kincaid now floating one for the end zone, but back there to make a pick is Tice Tuggle. He's going to fall down, and Mead now on back-to-back possessions. They score a touchdown, and now they turn the Bullpups over, and that is also the first interception of Sam Kincaid's season. Again, he's looking a little rattled as he gets up there, floats that one a little too far, and that one is picked off by Tuggle.
Yeah, threw into double coverage there. I don't know if you didn't see him just because of the blue end zone maybe, but really wasn't much of a chance. I'm not sure what he was looking at, but very kind of uncharacteristic throw from Sam Kincaid tonight. As you said, first interception of the season.
His 19 touchdowns on the year, just one interception, but the Mead Panthers turn him over back-to-back defensive plays. Cooper Daines makes a big one, and then Tice Tuggle there to get the ball back for their offense. If you can go down 4 minutes here to drive the length of the field with Evan Drew, your new quarterback, but if you can lean on Fagau to make a couple chunk plays, score a touchdown, you're right in this thing as we go to halftime. It's 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Panthers. Fagau in the backfield with Drew. They're going to give it to Fagau. Tries to bounce it outside. Got a runner on him, and then a couple Bullpups there for the gang tackle, and it's a loss of 1.
This is going to be an important drive for the young career of Evan Drew right now. If you can come away with at least even 3 points, that completely changes the outlook of the rest of this game. You're only down by 1 touchdown going into half, feeling pretty good. A couple plays have gone your way if you're Mead. But like you said to start this game, I think Prep's really going to pack the box, and they're going to make you beat them through the air in the last 3.5 minutes.
Mead did get the ball first, so Gonzaga Prep will get it out of halftime. Mead really looking for points here. 3.5 minutes left. High snap handled by Drew, then a handoff to Fagau. He bursts forward to the 25, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 here for the Panthers as we go under 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
Now this is where the cat and mouse game starts to come into play. Gonzaga Prep was in kind of a soft cover 4 last time. They were daring Kincaid to throw it almost, and they only had 3 down linemen.
Got 3 receivers bottom of the screen now. None up top here. Fagau to his left. Looking to the sideline for the play call. 2:45, 10 seconds on the play clock. Mead needs 5 yards here on this 3rd down. Fakes the screen. Drew looking. Now going to throw it to Fagau. It's tipped, and then it is caught. A flag comes down. That one was tipped and caught by Kyle Kilman. Fagau tried to get his hand on it. Flags come down. Wonder if they're going to get him for defensive pass interference, as Fagau tried to make the catch, but it was tipped, and Kilman comes down to potentially keep this drive alive. We'll wait and see what the flags are.
It almost looked like Fagau was trying to tip it to Kilman, but a great heads-up play by him getting underneath it. I think he may have even got it.
Mead saying that this penalty will be on G-Prep. It is pass interference on the defense. And it'll be a first down, keeps the drive alive, but it would have been kept alive anyway by the great play of Kyle Kilman. An incredible reception. And when you're a quarterback there, you see that ball get tipped. I mean, life just flashing before your eyes there.
Yeah, you're hoping for anybody in a blue jersey to even be somewhere in the vicinity to it. Again, almost looked like he bounced past it to him. But that's where kind of the experience comes to play is Kilman, like you said, he was running that post route. If you just would have held the ball for a little bit longer, I think he would have saw him streaking across the field. They had a clean pocket, but easier said than done from this side of the field.
Ren Jackson called with a pass interference there for the Bullpups. 1st and 10 from the 40 now. Evan Drew back, slips up in the pocket. Pressure comes. He gets away, and then he's dragged down. Ball comes out, but he was down before that. 42, Aiden James on the tackle. But Drew, a good job to step up in the pocket there, pick up a few yards, even feeling the pressure.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Great instincts. Come away with something better than nothing. And you don't want to take a sack. You want to get at least some yards, especially if you're going to run this clock down.
Cross under 2 minutes left in the first half. No 2-minute timeout, 2-minute warning here in high school. So the clock will keep on running. 2nd down and 6 to go here for the Panthers. Play action to Fagal. Wanted to go deep as Drew. He's going to get pressured. He now rolls out, trying to point to his receivers. Might throw this one away. Instead goes to Kyle Kilman. But it is broken up on the sideline. Great play there by the Bullpups to break that one up, and it's another 3rd down.
Yeah, they're running a couple comeback routes here on the sideline, which I think is exactly what you want to draw up to stop the clock and get some yardage. But if you're Drew, you got to get that ball just a hair earlier. I think you let the defense cut up just a sec, and what may have been open a couple seconds ago is not open when the ball leaves your hand.
Luke Hills makes the pass breakup on that one. Coach Kyle Graham said that Hills rolled his ankle yesterday in practice. They weren't sure they were going to have him today, but he comes in and he makes a big stop on 2nd down, brings up a 3rd down, and the clock stops if Prep is going to be able to get it back and try and go on a drive of their own. This time they hand off to Fagal. He's going to be right at the 50-yard line. It's 4th down and 1. Now a big decision coming from the Panthers. 1:30 seconds left. 4th down and 1. They want to probably assuming they're going to go for it here.
Well, big decision. I mean, this is why you get paid to be a head coach right here. I think you want to run the clock down as much as possible if you're going to give the ball back to the defense, or back to Prep rather. But if you're going to go, you got to make a decision very quickly and start to use the time to your advantage.
I assume they're going to lean on their guy Fagal here. Might go hard count, try and get Prep to jump off sides, then call a timeout. We'll see if that is what they do. They go hard count. Prep doesn't jump. Now looking to the sideline. Clock is ticking down. 4 seconds left on the play clock. And I believe we're just going to see a timeout. That is what we get. 50 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Play clock runs out, so we'll step aside as well. 50 seconds left in the 1st half. We'll be back with the end of the 1st half here on SWX. High school football on SWX, brought to you in part by Titan Truck Equipment, Northwest family-owned. Outfit your truck by visiting us in Spokane Valley, and follow Titan Truck on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And by ServPro of Spokane County. If your home or business is ever damaged by fire, water, or an unexpected incident, trust the pros at ServPro of Spokane County to make like it never even happened happen. Under 1 minute to go. Mead did show when they were trotting out there that it looks like they're bringing the offense back out here. Thought they might just go hard count and then punt it away. But I think if you want to win this game, which Mead clearly does, you're going to probably try and go for this. I mean, you got to try and pick up points here before halftime. Yeah,
you're exactly right. You're nearing towards field goal territory, so you don't have far to go. Your offense is kind of in churning. I think you really just need to build off that momentum and really put prep in a place that they haven't been all season. And that's on their heels a little bit, even though they're up by 10.
Don't think they've been in a game. If Mead can go get a touchdown, make it a 3-point game here by half. Prep has not been in a game that close this year. It will be the offense coming back out. You got Fagau back there with Evan Drew. You got the up back Dustin Johnson. Tice Tuggle is split off on the bottom of your screen as well. Needing 1 yard to continue this drive. They go with the end around to Tice Tuggle, and he's got a lot of room to run. Back across the 40, it's a gain of 10. And Mead drives, stays alive. He gets out of bounds, clock stops as well. 44 seconds left. Exactly what you needed to run. They ran the same play to Tuggle earlier in the game. They go back to it when they need it most.
They ran the same play to Tuggle earlier in the game, but in a different scenario. Actually, on their last fourth down, they did exactly what everyone expected and gave the ball to their star running back, Fagau. But this time, they used a play that worked early on. They attacked that outside edge and just uses speed. That was a great play call.
Gonzaga Prep overly aggressive, trying to stop Fagau, and it leaves the edge open for Tuggle. 1st and 10 from the 40. Motion man. It's a handoff, but it looks like Lee Cologne's going to throw it deep, and Ryan Tirico just barely can't hang on to it. Great defensive play from Matthew Gedahan of Gonzaga Prep. A perfect ball, it looked like. Flags down. We'll see if Lee Cologne got hit late. Going to be roughing the passer.
Wow.
Going to be roughing the receiver there, as that was a double pass. Lee Cologne with a perfect spiral, a really great ball, threw it over 30 yards in the air, right into the breadbasket of Tallarico, but really just a better defensive play from Gedahan. But they're going to get 15 yards on the roughing.
Exactly what you didn't want to happen if your Gonzaga Prep's defensive coach is right there. You had an excellent coverage. They really had him beat, but just a great play at the end of the pass there.
Just couldn't get two hands on it there, down inside the 5, but they'll be down to the 25, 35 seconds left in the first half for the Panthers.
Excellent play call, though, by Mead. I mean, if you're Gonzaga Prep defense, you really don't know what's coming out of this offense anymore. They've done a lot of exotic packages and 2 play calls that really left everybody confused.
Evan Drew now empty backfield, steps up in the pocket. He can run, tries to get around the defender, but he is dropped in the backfield. Tackle made by G Prep. It'll bring up 2nd down, and more importantly, the clock was ticking, but we have a timeout from Mead as they want to preserve as much of the clock as they can. 25 seconds left. Ball's on the 27. You don't know necessarily how much leg Don has for the Panthers, but believe you're going to want to probably try and get inside the 20 before you start feeling really comfortable about kicking a field goal.
Yeah, I think you're right. And fortunately enough for me, they had a timeout left. You don't have to spike the ball down. Yardage is really hard to come by at this point of the game. So I think you're going to have to go back to Fagau here. You have 25 seconds. You have time to get a couple plays off before you have to lean on the pass.
Now, joining the Inland Empire Football Officials Association, that would allow you to participate in the community, flexibility in scheduling your games, receiving timely payments, experience networking and advancement opportunities. Organized training is provided. Your chance to be on the field is a QR code click away at IEFOA.com. We hope you'll decide to join us. A couple shots of the refs keeping this game in clean order. A couple roughing the passer penalties early. And that last one, critical, gets the ball down inside the 25. Now backed up to the 27 after that QB sack. Evan Drew back out there with Fagau. 2nd down and 12. They need the 15 to pick up a 1st down, and just 25 seconds left in the first half. Snap goes to Drew. They want to go handoff to Fagau. He's got a little bit of room. He gets it down inside the 20. 17 seconds and ticking. And we do finally get a timeout there from Mead with 13 seconds left in the first half. Surprised by that play call there?
Not surprised by the play call. More surprised that the coaching staff for Mead let precious time tick off the clock. I mean, 4 seconds is really valuable at this point in the game, especially so close to the red zone. You want to be able to get maybe one, maybe two plays off if you get a first down here. We'll see if they can do that, or if they have to settle for the field goal.
It seemed like they were maybe deciding if they wanted to take that timeout or not. They do ultimately call it with 13 ticks left, but like you said, could have probably had 17, maybe even 18 seconds left. Potential, if you can pick up a first down here, that's an extra throw to the end zone before the end of the half.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I'm not sure if they were just maybe deciding personnel, what they wanted to go. They've done a jumbo look here earlier in the game. I think they might go something similar. The one thing you don't want to do, especially with a young quarterback in a situation like this, he's already thrown 2 picks early on. He's played a pretty solid game other than that. Obviously, that's not what you want as far as turnovers are concerned, but you don't want to turn the ball over, especially if you come away with some points. I think they're just going to run it here, probably up the middle. They don't have a full back end. They're just in an I formation and try to get the first down, and if not, settle for the field goal.
He's got one timeout left. They do go play action, drifting back, now just floats the ball up, nobody there. Gedahun pushes down the receiver, Talarico, but it was uncatchable, so no flag comes out. It'll be 4th down. They are going to bring out Damiano to try and make this a 7-point game. 8 seconds left on this one. Gonzaga Preps made a lot of plays on special teams. Going to assume they're going to go pretty heavy after this kick.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty isolated play there. They just wanted to get their ball to the playmaker, and I would imagine they told their quarterback, Evan Drew, hey, if nothing's open, just throw it or nobody can catch it and live to hit the field goal.
Evan Drew is the holder on this play. Snap down, hold is good. Kick is up. Definitely had the distance, and it is through. Damiano drills it, and we got ourselves a 7-point ball game. 3 seconds left in the half. I think if you talk to the Mead Panthers, tell them, hey, 7-point game at halftime, they would take that all day. The back half, really the whole second quarter, Mead has really controlled this game.
Yeah, it really started with that penalty coming back. Mead shot themselves in the foot with that special teams mishap, giving them 7 points, but Prep shooting themselves in the foot with the penalty really started the momentum for Mead as a whole, and just understanding, hey, maybe we can get back into this game.
It was 17-0 and 17 unanswered points to start the game. Now we have 10 unanswered points to get Mead back into the game here as the Panthers find themselves down 7 here. Just 3 seconds away from halftime.
I think a lot of stunned faces maybe on that Prep sideline.
The way it started, 17-0, everything was going the way of Gonzaga. Prep really seemed like the turning point in this game was that block in the back that brought back the kick return touchdown. Would have made it 23-0. I think really starting to put the foot on the gas there now. Mead was able to turn them over on the next play. They go score a touchdown. Now after that field goal, they're going to just kick this one short. Don't want any return. That's going to go out of bounds, though. So a flag will come out. They'll get the ball in pretty good field position.
Yeah, they opted for the pooch kick. Usually in these situations, you see a squib kick that we saw Prep use earlier in the game. Just gives you an opportunity to kind of waste some clock, especially with only 3 seconds left. But now, because you used the pooch kick and you kicked it out of bounds, you got the penalty, like you said. So you got good field position. And if you got a quarterback with a strong arm and you got a 6'5" receiver that is used to catching jump balls, that might be trouble even with just 3 seconds left.
Gonzaga Prep's going to ask for the penalty to be reinforced and have them re-kick this ball off. So they're going to back them up. I believe it'll be 10 kick it. I think they're just wanting to let one of their playmakers back there have a chance to return this one. I believe Jonah Keller's back there as well as number 7, Nico Alexander. Both those guys very dangerous in open space. I think Prep realizes they got a better chance at returning a kick than they do on, just one handoff or one maybe Hail Mary to end it. So it'll back them up 5 yards. They'll kick off from the 35. And we'll see if Mead goes again with the pooch here or maybe a squib.
Yeah, redact everything I just said from the record.
Looks like they're setting up for an onside, but it'll be another pooch. This one's going to be fair caught there by Jack Pierce at about the 40-yard line. See if Prep just takes a knee, takes it to half, or if they want to run one more play. I mean, they've been able to spring Sam Kincaid on a couple big runs. maybe you throw a deep ball to your guy, Isaiah Dawkins, see if you can win a one-on-one and take it all the way into the end zone.
Well, tough order for any high school quarterback to chuck it 60 yards. And really the thing that goes unnoticed is you have to have an offensive line that can hold for that long and let your players get downfield. So we'll see if they even take a shot.
The offensive line has been much improved, is what Nate Graham said about this unit from last year to this year. A lot of senior experience on that one. Sam Kincaid, one play here to end the half. Going to run the option play. This one goes out to Jonah Keller. Kincaid takes a huge hit and just dropped out of bounds as the clock rolls to zeros. He gets it across the 50, but that is how the first half will end. 17-10, Gonzaga Prep on top of Mead. The second quarter was all Mead. They scored 10 unanswered. 17-10. We're back in just a few minutes to break down that first half here on SWX. Welcome to halftime on SWX. Spokane Colleges, an education designed with life in mind. 17-10 your score. Gonzaga Prep on top of the Mead Panthers. The Prep trying to stay undefeated. They get out to a really quick start, which they've done in almost every game. And they started on defense, and that is exactly where the team struck first. They get a quick 3 and out. Then on the punt, it's muffed in the end zone. It's fallen on by Prep. It's Andrew Yarno there for the touchdown. A quick 7-0. Then an interception comes in. That one picked off by Jack Pierce. And it was all Bullpups early on. They go deep ball. Isaiah Dawkins makes the perfect catch in the corner of the end zone. Makes it 17-0. Looking like it's all Prep, but then a fumble, and Mead starts picking up some momentum.
Yeah, then you see Fagau here just doing what he does best, using his size and strength, getting into the end zone, or at least close here, and setting up what looks like a completely new Mead offense.
Hayden Coons takes this handoff into the end zone, and then they pick up a field goal as well. And it is 17-10 your score. Mead trying to come back here in the second half and knock off undefeated Gonzaga Prep. We'll be back with more here on SWX. time to look again at tonight's keys to the game presented by Northern Quest Resort Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best early on, setting the tone, exactly what Gonzaga Prep did, but Mead now working their way back in this one.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Really what they've done all season is just blitz their entire offense and their special teams and defense and really not let their opponents catch up from the start of the game. And they've done that so far, but Mead is coming back. On the defense side of things, they really need to win first down. With a young quarterback, they need to put them in long yardage situations and beat them through the air. Now for Mead, they've done exactly this. They need to establish the run, and they've done it really in creative ways, which has helped them leaps and bounds for the rest of this game. Hopefully we'll see more of that coming up. And limit big plays. They have a lot of playmakers there on Gonzaga Prep's offense, and Dawkins and Keller, and a lot of different ways they can hurt you. You need to keep things in front of them, do your job, and just stick to the basics.
Seemed early in this game, the keys to the game were going exactly Prep's way. Back half of the second quarter there, Mead working their way back into it by establishing the run. We'll see which team comes out on top here in the second half here on SWX. High school football on SWX presented in part by P1 FCU. Are you looking for a free checking account? P1 FCU's Ascend Checking free checking account that can earn you dividends. Open your account at p1fcu.org. 17-10 here. A couple minutes left in halftime. Grant Hannon alongside Grady Glover. And Grant, 17-10. Gonzaga Prep looked like they were running away with it. Now we got ourselves a really good ball game. Second half, what does each team got to do to come away with this one?
Well, Gonzaga Prep, I'm sure they're chomping at the bit to get back out here and really show what they're made of. But this is a great opportunity for them to really see some adversity at the end of the season. They're 7-0. They really kind of just dominated every phase of the game and all their opponents. So this will be really interesting for them to see, and I think an important test at this point in the season. And now for Mead, you really have to stick with what got you here. They have a star running back. He's done great so far. But pick your spots when you're going to be creative. Are you going to put all that responsibility on your young quarterback? But they've done a great job so far of using some exotic packages, having some trick plays in there. And I think they've done those at great times. And just continue what they're doing. I think they've, down 7 coming out of half is not a bad spot to be.
Halftime on SWX was brought to you by Spokane Colleges and education designed with life in mind. Back here for the second half, about to kick off, brought to you by McDonald's. High school football on SWX, presented in part by your local McDonald's restaurants, proud sponsors of McDonald's Team of the Week, featured every Friday night at 11:15 on Nonstop Local KHQ. In SWX Overtime, starting in mid-September, we will have SWX Overtime tonight. Austin Getz and AJ Howell will be anchoring that for you, but we got another half of really good football here as the Mead Panthers set to kick this one back off to the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. Alongside Grant Hannon, I'm Grady Glover, bringing you the second half, 17-10, Gonzaga Prep on top of Mead. Another pooch kick here from Donovan Damiano. This one fielded by Jack Pierce. He was dangerous in that punt return that was returned for a touchdown, but he just shimmies his way out right around the 45. And the Bullpups once again with a short field. And really feeling like the offense been pretty stagnant. Really haven't seen the offense on the field much besides, one or two plays there at the end of the half. Want to see a sustained drive from the Bullpups.
Yeah, very cautious start from Mead of just going with the pooch kick. I think that punt return maybe had them a little nervous in their tackling ability, but I think you'll see a lot of the same from Gonzaga Prep. There's really no reason to be nervous as far as your offense is concerned. I mean, nothing slowed them down all season, so I think you just got to stick with what you know.
Jimmy Granger in the backfield. Kincaid's going to keep it now. He's going to pitch it out one more time. It's Kroll with it across the 50. He's going to trot out of bounds at the Mead 47. Down to the 43-yard line. Pick up a 13 on first down. But there is another penalty marker on the field. Jonah Keller's got his hands up. Looks like it might be a hold, and it is. Keller gets called for it, shaking his head, doesn't agree. We'll back him up here. We'll do first down again.
This was a problem early on for this Prep offense. Early in the season, they had a lot of penalties that was slowing them down. Fortunately for them, they really didn't have too stout of a defense that they were facing that it didn't really matter. But in a close game like this, that could come back to haunt them.
You can see right there, Jonah Keller just grabbing a little bit too much jersey there and driving Tice Tuggle into the ground. That's the one that gets called there. And coming into this game, we were wondering, Mead with the number one offense and Prep with the number one defense in the league, but it's really been the Mead defense that's been able to hold the Prep offense here. Just 17 points in the first half. Kincaid, quick pitch out. It's Jimmy Granger. Got a full head of steam. Steps out of one tackle, and he's out to the 50. Gain of about 8. That'll bring up second down and 5. Mead was number one in total offense in terms of yardage, but it's Gonzaga Prep number one offense in terms of points. 46.7 points per game. Just an unbelievable number, but just held to 17 in the first half. Mead's got to be pretty happy with that. Now, handoff on second down. That one stopped quickly. Cooper Daines flies in and drills Sam Kincaid on the play not a play action, but just the handoff. Thought Kincaid might have had it there. Refs talking, but no flag comes out. Good stop there from the Panthers, and it's quickly a third down and 4 now for the Prep offense on their first drive out of half. Need 4, and they're going to get the Panthers to jump off sides. They go hard count. Sean Jones gets across the line. Offense not completely in rhythm, not working. You got a big third down. You go hard count, trust the team's discipline there, and you pick up a first down without having to snap the ball.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think both teams are kind of looking at each other, seeing who's going to be the one that makes the big play, and that's where leadership really steps up in these moments.
So it's a first down at the 45 for the Bullpups. A minute into the second half.
You saw them go to Dawkin in a similar situation like this early on in the game.
Instead, it's a screen pass to Granger. Great cutback there, but a bunch of Mead Panthers there to drop Granger right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like that cutback might have had a little bit of room, but swarming tackle there. Tried to use Dawkin. Maybe there was a little bit of a decoy, and then they dump it underneath to Granger. Cooper Daines been everywhere on the field. The WSU commit for the Panthers brings up second down and 10 from the 45. Kincaid, handoff to Granger. That time, modest gain. Number 60, Rich Nelson, in on the tackle. If you watch those handoffs, Cooper Daines is immediately in the backfield. They get the handoff, but Daines is right on Kincaid as soon as he lets go of the ball. If he wants to keep one of those, I think Daines is going to be reading that out.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's done an excellent job all game of doing just that.
Third down and 7 now. Another jump and a 58 Sean Jones. This one, if they call it, is not going to give them enough for a first down, but it will shorten the third down attempt to just 2 yards. As Sean Jones trots off the field, he'll be replaced by Bo Finley. And we got a third down and 2 now for Mead.
Yeah, coaches are going to give that young man a talking to. Unfortunate for him, those can really be disappointing for a defense.
You play so well on first and second down and just hand them 5 free yards. Our third down and 2. They need the 40. High snap, handoff to Granger. Granger just isn't going to get the first down.
I think he might have gotten it.
Gets it down inside the 35 to the 34, and it is enough for a first down. Granger with all the carries here in the second half. See when they want to start bringing in Jonah Keller, Nico Alexander. There's so many options that they have in the Gonzaga Prep backfield.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. It didn't come to fruition, but just looking at the size advantage that Dawkin has over some of these Mead DBs, it really can just be as simple as that in terms of who you go to in these 30 and in situations.
This time it's Kincaid right up the middle. He's going to keep it himself. Brought down after a gain of 9. Bursts across the 30 down to the 25. Just short of a first down. It'll be second down and 1. The second down and short situation seems like a great time to, throw a deep ball. You end up not picking it up. You got a third down and 1. Obviously, they trust their running game to pick up 1 yard. Feels like a great time for them to, maybe like you said, test Isaiah Dawkin.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a perfect chance for it, especially when you don't have much to lose. As long as you don't turn the ball over, Kincaid's been great about that all season. He's got 1 tonight. But if you can let one loose and just open up the playbook at least a little bit and do something that's out of the ordinary, I think this is when you do it.
Ball at the 25. They need the 24. Instead, they go right up the middle. Jimmy Granger's going to fall forward. We'll see if the fall forward is enough on second down and 1. The spot is right at the first down line. No signal yet. Believe the head judge may have just come in and given him enough for the first down. And he will. Marks that one. First down for the Bullpups. And you can throw it deep all you want, but if the offense is going to keep running the ball like that, you might as well just keep it on the ground.
Yeah, a couple tough breaks for the Mead defense. And now you're asking yourself, okay, if they score here, are we right back in that situation that we found ourselves in the first quarter?
They allow touchdown here, be down 14. Going to be back in the chase mode here. Really trying to tighten up here, which they have done in the red zone. Forcing a field goal earlier from the Bullpup. Snap goes to Kincaid. Kincaid, quick throw to Dawkin. It's another screen. Dawkin trying to make a couple guys miss. And he is wrapped up at the 21 and driven backwards.
Great job wrapping up by Mead. Really rallying to the ball. It was about 5 jerseys there pretty quickly.
Gain of 6. Luke Marchessault, the one tasked with guarding Dawkin all night. A couple Mead defenders coming out to help him wrap him up. Ball's at the 21. Second down and 7. Gain of 3 on first down.
You got that tight set that Prep loves.
Motion handoff right up the middle. Swarmed. I believe Rich Nelson was the first one there. Makes another stop there for the Panthers. Should be a third down and 6. Once again, Mead doing what they can to put Prep in some unfamiliar positions. 3rd and 5 plus here. Once again, 6.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Mead needing a stop here on third down, trying to get off the field. Kincaid takes the snap, drops back, wants the post route to Dawkin. Dawkin going up for it, but it's over his head, and it's incomplete.
2 post routes going simultaneously. Actually had both of them open, but just high there. Hard to miss a 6'5 receiver, but unfortunately did this time. Looks like they're going to come away with 3.
Another look at the throw from Kincaid. Had a step, did Dawkin, but that one flies over his head. Marchessault in coverage. Like you said, Dylan Kroll running the exact mirrored route, a post on the other side. It'll bring David Howe out for what will be a 37-yard field goal. Snap is good, holds good. Ball is hooking left. Waiting for it, and it is no good. The Mead defense holds. The sideline erupts. We'll take a break here, but Mead needed out of the half. They'll get the ball back with a chance to tie this game in the third quarter. Today's presentation of high school football on SWX brought to you in part by Inner Demon Motorsports, located in Hayden, Idaho. Inner Demon Sports, powered by Heatercraft, will keep you warm in your UTV or boat all year round. Mead right back out on offense. Ball on their own 20 after a missed field goal. A chance to go down the field here and tie this game up. Evan Drew, though, is pressured in the backfield. He loses the football. Mead appeared to have dropped on it. And it will be Mead who gets on it, and then a penalty flag comes out. Gonzaga Prep saying they have the ball, but they mark it down, and I believe the officials are going to huddle up here. It's a game-changing call, potentially. Regardless, even if Mead fell on it, a loss of 5 or 6. A penalty flag came out. We'll see what they're waiting on the call for, but I believe a Mead offensive lineman was quick to dive on that ball, whether or not he gained possession of it or not.
I think some Gonzaga Prep players are thinking it might be intentional grounding, but we'll see what the call is here. Really, though, great play call. I love how Mead was going with the trip set. They really want to expand that box so they can, use their star running back to have a little bit more room to wiggle. But
you're exactly right there, Grant. It was intentional grounding. I think if you're Mead, though, you'll take the loss of down instead of losing the football here. But they're all the way back inside the 10 now. They lose the down as well. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 21.
I think you're exactly right. They tried to catch him off guard there with the screen pass and roll him out in a naked boot and then throw it back, but it looks like nothing was open, and then Kincaid just tried to get the ball away. But
2nd and 21 now. Heels almost at the goal line here for the Panthers. 2 running backs in the back here. See if you can get a big chunk of this back before a 3rd down. Evan Drew's going to drop back, pressure right in his face, steps up in the pocket, throws it out to the up back, Dustin Johnson, but nowhere to go after a sure tackle there from the Bullpups, and it's going to be 3rd and a long ways after the tackle by number 35. That's Luke Hills.
And you can see Mead trying to keep Prep's defense guessing, or at least their defensive coordinator. They're going deep in the play. See a 2-back wing set that they did, and if they're in that formation, you think they're going to utilize their running game, but they split both of them out, and really a great job by Drew there, just stepping up and just taking what they gave him.
Now 3rd and 16 from the 14-yard line. Mead obviously wanting to give their punter a little bit more room if they're unable to get the first down here. It's Drew and Fagau in the backfield. Drew drops back, goes across the middle, nobody there, tipped. And Jack Pierce is fired up. He would have been there for the interception if it wasn't tipped. But instead it'll bring up 4th down and 16. And we've seen this before on the first drive of the game. Mead going to have to punt from the same area. Jack Pierce there. But instead it's tipped away by Matthew Gittahan. And the Panthers will punt.
Yeah, double covered as Jack Pierce just in a free safety mode. Really playing center field and just watching the quarterback's eyes. Like you said, we saw it early in the first quarter. And you got to be lucky that you didn't come away with an interception there.
This time it's a good punt. Jack Pierce is back. Ball goes touched by Gonzaga Prep, but I believe they fell on it. Jack Pierce does get on the ball. Matthew Gittahan, it touched him first. But a great punt there from Donovan Damiano. Prep back with the ball inside of the 50-yard line. And Mead gets the turnover, but they're unable to do anything with it. They give it back to Gonzaga Prep.
Almost an uncharacteristic mishap on special teams for Prep. You looked like Jack Pierce wanted to get a Peter call and just get everybody away from it, but Mead's guys were doing such a good ball so fast that it almost ended up in a turnover.
Gittahan looked like he kind of got driven almost into that ball by the Mead gunner there. Be first down from the 48. Sam Kincaid keeps it, slips out of a tackle. Doesn't have a whole lot of room to run, but he will get it down to the 45. Who else there? Early, but Cooper Daines, but he's unable to make the initial tackle. Kincaid slips to the 45 for a gain of 3.
Gosh, Cooper Daines has really been a difference maker for him all night. He's gotten in the backfield really almost as soon as the ball's been snapped on a couple really important plays.
Second down from the 45, 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 17-10. Prep on top, Kincaid. Handoff to Granger right up the gut. And that just kind of base halfback dive has really gone nowhere all game. Seems like every time that Kincaid pulls it, or maybe, they go with the pitch out to Jonah Keller, that's when they've been explosive, but just right up the gut with Jimmy Granger. Mead done a really good job to swallow those up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's such a great point. And really the difference in this game is their front four for Mead's defensive side is they've allowed their DBs who are a little bit undersized to float back in that cover 4 and don't let them get beat deep, and they don't have to, blitz as much.
Once again, another third down. This time it's a reverse to Nico Alexander. Nobody sees it from Mead, and Nico Alexander's around the corner, and he's gone. Exactly what the Bullpups need. It's a 42-yard touchdown run. Nico Alexander gets around. Nobody's going to catch him, and Prep extends their lead to 2 scores.
A little bit of the taste of their own medicine there from Mead. Tice Tuggle for Mead had the exact same reverse play called against them early in the first half. And just a great execution there, going to someone you wouldn't really expect in terms of this star-studded offense for Prep.
And as we were talking about it, up the gut wasn't working for them, so they go with the end around, and it's exactly what they needed. Extra point is on the way. That one goes through, 24-10. Gonzaga Prep takes the lead over Mead. Once again, let's look at this touchdown. Grant does an incredible job with the misdirection. Gets around the 40, one guy to beat, gets around the corner, and he's gone 42 yards all the way to the house. Nico Alexander, his 4th touchdown of the season. The first 3, though, had all been receiving, so his first rushing touchdown of the year. Pretty easy to score there when all you see is green grass as soon as you get the football.
Yeah, you see the speed there from Alexander, but really a great play call, and what they've almost been setting up really hasn't been able to get away from what they do so well in their read, run, pitch offense, that when you do start to stop it in the second half, and they can go to something that you don't expect, which is, faking the run, faking the pitch, and then getting you on the outside.
Tonight's coverage of high school football on SWX brought to you in part by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Don't miss the ultimate sports experience at Northern Quest with game day grub at Epic Sports Bar. Northern Quest, yes, the best. So now a 2-score lead, a little bit of breathing room for Gonzaga Prep, and Mead going to be quickly in a little bit of chase mode here as they're going to need a touchdown to respond. Ball goes through the end zone, touchback. Evan Drew in the offense coming back out. 3:40 left in the third quarter. Mead has shown they're able to move the ball. They have benefited from some chunk plays from the guy on your screen, Max Fagau. We'll see if they can get him going again here in the second half.
And more importantly, they've shown that they can stop Mead's run game. I think really the key for the second half for Mead's defense is the tackling by their defensive backs. That's really where Prep has started to attack them, but we'll see if Mead's offense can counter.
Got a bunch formation here on the right, couple tight ends in. Fagau going to take the handoff, goes up the gut, met quickly by the Bullpups, still fighting forward for some yards. Just such a hard runner is Fagau. That's why he's leading the league. But that one, just a modest gain of 3.
He does such a good job of just not stopping his feet and really just churning throughout the rest of the play.
3:20 left in the third quarter. If you're joining us late here, Landon Thomas, starting quarterback for Mead, out tonight, as well as Travell Jones, one of the top receivers for Mead. Evan Drew has come in, played well, has 2 interceptions on the day, but has been able to make a couple passes and really commanding this offense well. Max Fagao broke a big run that led to a touchdown from Hayden Coons, 24-10 G-Prep on top. Another handoff to Fagao. This time he's dropped well in the backfield. Ren Jackson immediately there, as well as Aiden James. And now this is where you don't want to be if you're the Mead Panthers, a 3rd down and 11 upcoming.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And Prep is really daring them to throw. They pack the box with nearly 8 men, and that's going to be hard to get your running game going. So we'll see if they go back to basics and just hammer the running game the rest of this quarter, or if they start to air it out a little bit.
3rd down and 11. Last couple times we've done this, we've seen it go to Garrett Miller just right across the middle on a little seam route. A couple of those have led to interceptions, though. You do have Miller split out at the bottom of your screen there, the tight end.
And you see Prep really almost in like a cover 6 look right now.
He was looking for the seam route. Instead, he goes to Fagao. He makes a man miss, and he's going to have just enough for a 1st down. Then he's pushed out of bounds, and there comes the flag. The late push comes in from the Gonzaga Prep Bullpup. It's Will Jackson. Shoves Fagao to the ground, and I believe that's going to be a late hit.
There's been some penalties that have really been the story of this game so far that have kind of sparked the momentum for me as a team. What a great play by Fagao, huh?
Fagao had a man to beat, caught it about 6 yards away from the 1st down, did exactly that, gets enough for the 1st down on his own. Then you tack on 15, and Mead's going to be in good position. Look at this catch. One cut, gets by the best G-Prep defender there in Ren Jackson. Then just puts his head down in that push a little bit late. You can see right there from Will Jackson. It's an extra 15 yards, balls all the way out, nose of the ball touching the 50-yard line.
Yeah, you have to keep eyes on him, Grady. And really, they threw to him as a check down. I mentioned it before that play started. They were kind of in a cover 6, meaning they had a lot of defensive backs prepared for the pass, and then you have Fagao just kind of leak out on the side.
This time they hand off to Hayden Coons. He had 1 carry for a touchdown earlier. That time is a big hole for him. He gets 10. Keep the chains moving. Another 1st down for Mead.
That's so valuable as a team to have your backup running back come in, or at least your early down running back. It's an explosive play. Fagao's been used all over this field on offense and defense tonight. That if you have some fresh legs, that helps.
Fagao getting a little breather. It's another one to Coons. Coons a great change of pace here. This time he's going to pick up 6. They marked him short of that 1st down, so this one will move the chains. Mead will be plenty happy with that because now they get a 1st down here at the 35. 1:35 left. It seems like Mead's picking up the tempo a little bit more.
They are. I think that's exactly what you need to do is just keep them guessing.
G-Prep D-line has been effective in the 1st half. See if the no huddle can maybe tire him out a little bit. Got 2 receivers top of the screen here for Evan Drew. Coons behind him, Dustin Johnson split to his right. 1st and 10 from the 35. Another handoff to Coons. He's got another gap, and he busts this one across down to the 27-yard line. Close to another 1st down.
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They've ran almost the same play call up the middle, a zone read 3 times in a row, and it's worked 3 times in a row.
3 seniors on this offensive line, including Cooper Danes, who we've been calling his name all night. On the defensive side, great job. Max Fagao, 6.3 yards per carry. Hayden Coons, though, 4.5 yards per carry this season. We can see it right now, the offensive line getting a good push. This time it's Fagao, but he loses the football. Gonzaga Prep looked like they had it, then it squirts out again. Mead's going to act like they have it, and they do. They avoid disaster there as Fagao comes back in. His 1st carry, he drops the rock, but Mead able to fall on top of it.
Looks like just lost football at the mesh there. He's really lucky that he got that back.
Luke Hills had the 1st chance at it. He couldn't grab it. And I believe it could have been Sean Jones, the offensive lineman, 58, who jumps on that ball to save it. That will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Both teams now thought they might have lost a fumble, but they get back on it. Gonzaga Prep up 24-10 as we head to the 4th quarter here on SWX. High school football on SWX, sponsored in part by Pella Windows, your local windows to help make life brighter. And Dr. C, Family Dentistry, complete care for every smile at every stage. Start of the fourth quarter, alongside Grant Hannon, I'm Grady Glover, bringing you this Friday night sports action on SWX. And what a game we have. 24-10 your score. G-Preps, though, this is the closest game they've been in all season. 7-0 and really haven't been tested much, but Mead doing everything they can.
Yeah, really unfamiliar territory. They like that 14-point lead that they've got. It's a little bit of a cushion, but if you're Mead right now, you're not going to be happy with anything less than 6 or 7 points coming out of this possession. And if you're going to do anything less, I mean, it's going to be tough to get back in this ball game. You have some time, you have a whole quarter, but you're going to have to pick up the pace, and you saw that with their no huddle.
Gonzaga Prep more than happy to keep the ball on the ground and just churn out that clock. So like you said, going to need a score and a stop if you're the Mead Panthers to try and drive down the field and tie this ball game up. But not getting ahead of themselves. They need a touchdown here. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. Ball will be at the 28-yard line. And the last play of the third quarter, almost a disaster. Fagau kind of runs into his own offensive lineman, drops on it. Gonzaga Prep had a chance at it, but a great diving effort there by Mead offensive linemen to get back on the ball and really sustain and keep this drive alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that I want to note about the time is Mead has shown that they can put up some points on the board. They've scored just as many points in this game as, really Prep starters have had scored on them all season. So they can have some success, but really a lot of that has come through the ground. If you're going to do that, that's going to waste some clock. And so, again, you're going to have to really get a move on and try to put some points on the board quickly if you're going to, put up 14 in 12 minutes.
Just showed you Nathan Graham there, the head coach. He was 12-1 last season, team out to a 7-0 start this year. 3rd down and 3, Evan Drew, handoff to Fagau. He's got the first down and more across the 30 down to the 26. Talked to head coach Graham earlier. He said that he saw from this team a different level of focus after last season. We'll take another look at this run. Fagau there is able to get a full head of steam going there and picks up the first down easy.
Yeah, fullback did a great job of going to the second level and making sure that backer couldn't get to him and, give him some extra yards. That really helps.
Nathan Graham said the team made the Final Four last year. They lost. He said the focus that he's seen from this senior class has been something he hasn't seen in a long time from his team. But they're in a tight one now. Handoff goes to Fagau. That time it is bottled up by a whole bunch of Bullpups. First there is Luke Hills.
Prep really giving them similar looks as far as the defense is concerned. They like to keep Pierce back there, and he's a great athlete. He can cover a lot of space. But what they're doing is rolling their strong safety into the box because they know, they're probably going to lean heavily on the run here.
It's going to be 2nd down and 9 here. Fagau in the backfield alongside Drew. Dustin Johnson to the right. Snap. Fakes the handoff to Fagau, goes to Tice Tuggle once again on the end around. One man to beat Jack Pierce. He gets around him, and Tuggle is close, and he's in for the touchdown. Mead, exactly what they need. They go back to the same bread and butter play that's worked 3 times now. They get the touchdown from Tice Tuggle, and an extra point cuts this one to a 7-point lead.
Tice Tuggle has really been a spark for their offense. Made a great cut against a good player, Jack Pierce, and made a miss and just went straight to the end zone. Great job, great execution.
Tuggle really been their high leverage guy. They went on 4th down. They picked up with an end around to Tuggle. That time they go again to Tuggle. That time for a touchdown. He gets by Jack Pierce, like you said, one of the best athletes, really sure tackler. 4 interceptions on the year for Pierce. Able to beat him in a one-on-one, and then enough speed to get into the end zone. Exactly what the Panthers needed. Extra point coming here to make it a 7-point game with 10:45 left in the fourth quarter. Snap to Evan Drew. On the way, it's good. It's off the crossbar, and it goes left. It is still a 1-possession game. 24-16 is your score, but definitely a big extra point that they wish that they had there. One more look at the end around, and really just seemed like Prep maybe just too committed to stopping the run right up the middle.
Dominic Carr with a great pull block that really set up that touchdown.
Tice Tuggle able to bring that one in. And now we have a 24-16 game late here in the fourth quarter. You wonder at what point, obviously Gonzaga Prep, very well coached, but at what point does the pressure start to shift to Gonzaga Prep? They haven't been in a game this close.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes in games like this, Mead has been tested. They had a great game against Cheney recently. They played Mount Spokane. But until you've played a game like this in this hostile territory, you really don't know how you size up against a team as good as Prep. And sometimes it takes a couple quarters, and it looks like they've found their rhythm now.
Definitely a great performance from Kyle Snell's ball club as they come out to kick this one back to the Bullpups. Coach Snell said in this one he wanted to see incredible effort. He said he wasn't sure what the roster was going to look like with some injuries. And now an onside kick, but it is immediately that time. Looks like that one might have been why Mead was setting up those pooch kicks earlier in the game. They ran that exact formation, but then kicked it deep, maybe 20 yards further. That time they tried to go with maybe the quick surprise onside, but honestly it ends up kind of in the same spot that Prep has started almost all their drives, right around their own 45.
Yeah, you're right. It's a risky strategy, giving Prep an explosive offense like that. Pretty good field position to start versus the 20 if you're going to kick in the end zone, but so far, so good. Mead's front line has held up quite well. We'll see if they can continue to do so.
10:42 left in this ball game. We're in the fourth quarter now. Snap goes to Kincaid. Pitches out to Jonah Keller. Jonah Keller's got some room across the 50. Now he's across the 45, down to the 40. Still running, and Jonah Keller refuses to go down all the way to the 31-yard line. And it's a gain of 26, or 26 rather, for Jonah Keller and the Bullpups.
You see here Cooper Daines getting into the backfield, delivering a huge blow to Sam Kincaid, but Keller doing a great job just using his elusiveness. He's such a good open field runner.
Arm tackles aren't going to get him down. Really gets fully wrapped up at the 40 and drags the defender Cooper Smith, the junior, for 9 more. And gets the ball all the way down to the 31 to gain of 24 yards. And Prep immediately in business. Kincaid, snap, pitch quickly. Full head of steam there on the run. Close to a first down. Quick carry for Andy Great Agata. His first carry of the game. And that's going to be a first down for the Bullpups.
I like that for Prep, mixing it up, just doing the quick pitch to the outside. They have a lot of speed on their offense. Their running backs are really, they have a lot of depth in that position. And they're using it to their advantage, especially in a game that goes in the fourth quarter like this. People are tired.
2 plays all the way down inside the red zone for Sam Kincaid and this Bullpups offense. Kincaid back there. Agata split to his left. They're going to go back to Agata, running hard. Met at the 15 and driven back by the Panthers. Agata, fresh legs coming in here in the fourth quarter and running the rock hard.
Dokken been unusually quiet so far in this ball game. We'll see if they come back to him in this time.
Had the touchdown early, averages 65 yards receiving per game. Really just, they've used him on a couple screen passes. They tried to go deep to him, but really it's been Luke Marchessault with great coverage on him all game.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and they're giving him a lot of cushion. They really don't want you to beat him deep and just use press coverage, so they're going to have safety help over the top.
2nd and 6, screen out to Jacoby McClellan, breaks a tackle, flag down. McClellan inside the 5, down to the 3. We'll see if we have a lot of bodies moving out there near the 10, 12-yard line. That's where the flag was. See if they get called for a hold.
I think this might be coming back.
Prep offensive line already starting to retreat here, and it will be a hold on the offense. Part of what helped Jacoby McClellan get so open there. He comes back. Got an offensive lineman, Liam Welsh, who gets out there, and he's going to push him down there, and that's where they're going to get the hold from. I'm not sure if there was a ton of jersey grabs there.
Yeah, you saw Garrett Miller get into the backfield pretty quickly. I think just a small thing, you got to get your hands up if you're going to be a defensive lineman. It really makes the quarterback's job that much more difficult to find his target.
2nd and 12 now, backed up to the 21 is Prep. Kincaid keeps it, now pitches out. Jacoby McClellan's got a head of steam, but he's dragged down inside the 20. Tackle made there by 52, Michael Town. Cooper Smith also there on the tackle. Marchessault a little slow to get up, but he will, and it'll be now a 3rd down and 9 for the Bullpups. They missed a field goal earlier. Got to assume they want to pick this one up and not have to settle for another field goal try.
Well, good play call by Prep, but better defense. Town just, they're really textbook tackle.
3rd down and 9. Mead needing a stop here. Play action. They want to go deep to their guy, Isaiah Dawkin, a one-on-one ball. He goes up, and he makes the grab. A touchdown for Gonzaga Prep to extend the lead to 3-2 scores. Isaiah Dawkin one-on-one with Luke Marchessault. And when in doubt, you throw it up to your 6'5" receiver, and he makes a play for your team.
Well, I've been saying for a while, I've been waiting for them to come back to that play call. They really just love to, about 20 or 15 in, Kincaid just throws a nice fade route to Dawkin, and they just have done that all season long. It's hard to stop.
30-16 the score. Big extra point to move it to 15 is up on the way, and that one is through by David Al. 31-16. Big touchdown score there from Gonzaga Prep to extend this one. Now the second touchdown of the day from Isaiah Dawkin on really what looked like the same play. Just a fade ball. You trust your big body receiver to go up and get it.
Yeah, good defense there. He's in the right position, just better offense. It's hard to teach size.
Luke Marchessault right there on him. Had a pass breakup on the other side of the field that led to a field goal that was missed, but that time Isaiah Dawkin wins the one-on-one battle. His second touchdown of the game, second touchdown throw of the game from Kincaid. 31-16, Prep on top once again. Talked to head coach Graham earlier this week. He was saying that these games have been kind of what's missing a little bit from Gonzaga Prep's season. They haven't played a lot of games close, and last year they got into the playoffs. They got into the Final Four, but he believes that playing these close games in the regular season is exactly what can season and really prepare the team for the postseason. And it was something that he said that the team really hasn't faced this year. I think their smallest margin of victory was over 25 points. And so this really been good for Gonzaga Prep. They can come out with a win here. But Mead now down 15, under 8 minutes to go, going to have to score and score in a hurry.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's a luxury to have that problem, but it is a double-edged sword, and you don't really know what your team's made of until you get in these situations, and you'd rather have that happen before the playoffs.
Return is Tice Tuggle, gets it out just about to the 20-yard line of a long 80-yard drive that Mead will need to cut this one back down to one score. 31-16, Prep finds themselves on top, and now really feel like we're going to start to see Evan Drew unleash the arm a little bit, and head coach Snell said that he trusts him to throw the ball, and I think that's what we're going to see here.
Yeah, he's delivered a couple strikes. So far, he's played a decent game. He's had a couple bad turnovers, but that's going to happen early on in your career. They're going to have to put a lot of responsibility in his shoulders going forward.
Head coach Snell said the team's been inconsistent the last 4 weeks, and we mentioned it earlier, but what he really wanted to see was a good response from the team. The first half looked like it might be tending to trend towards Gonzaga Prep's way, but Mead with an incredible response and showing great effort here in this one. Now they're going to need it once again. They start the drive, play action, looking to go deep. Evan Drew throws it across the middle. Perfect ball, and it is brought in. I believe it's Kyle Kilman with the grab. It is just in time before Jack Pierce comes down on that throw. Kyle Kilman makes the grab for the big gainer.
Yeah, great route by Kyle Kilman. You want to get your ball to your playmakers. That's a big target to throw to. Just delivered a strike right there. That's exactly what you're going to want to do time and time again.
Jack Pierce just one step too late on that one. Kilman gets his arm around it. Ball's out to the 38, gain of 18. Now they go handoff to Fagau. Fagau busts it across the 40, and it's a big gainer on first down, gain of 9. And it'll be second and short, 7 minutes and ticking left in this one.
Well, it's a hot start for their offense so far. They're going to need to keep up this pace, though.
Going to go quickly to the line here. Second down and 1. Evan Drew takes the snap. Goes back to Fagau. Fagau hit at the line, and he's just going to have enough for the first down. That'll stop the clock. 6:40 remaining in this one, and it's a first down for the Panthers.
Yeah, you just got to move the chains. If you're Evan Drew right now, your job is to not turn the ball over and just get first downs, however they come to you.
Continuing to lean on the running game as the clock stops until they set the ball. It has been set now, under 6.5 minutes left.
You see this jumbo set with the pistol in the backfield. Might be a run up the middle.
They've gone to Tuggle on the end around a couple times out of this formation. See if they motion him here. Fagau split back. They do go to Tuggle on the end around. He's got a lead blocker, picks it up, tries to make a man miss, but this time Prep sniffed that one out. The play that's worked for him all game, that time gets stopped for just a gain of 3. Had Chase Sander jump out there, try and be a lead blocker there for Tuggle. But the Prep defense, a little too quick on that one, able to stop him for a short gain. 2nd down and 6 upcoming here for the Panthers. Ball at the 48. This time play action. Evan Drew looking to go deep. Pressure in his face. Not enough on that one. Tries to get it to Fagau, but it skipped to him. It'll be incomplete. Stops the clock, though. Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, it can be a blessing in disguise to have a quarterback that can throw a ball that doesn't get intercepted and just stops the clock. I mean, looks like we got a little scoreboard outage there.
Was just under 6.5 minutes remaining as they reboot the scoreboard here. 31-16 your score. We'll see if 5:27 left on the clock. Now the ref is calling to roll the clock, which should not happen here, as it was an incomplete pass. And that is what Kyle Snell is calling for, and they're going to have to fix this one up. But if you're Mead here, ball's at the 48, 52 yards to drive the field down, but it's a 3rd down and 6. Obviously, it is 4-down territory. But really, I mean, 3rd down and 6, what is everything in the playbook available here? Can you run the ball here if you know you're going to go for it on 4th?
Yeah, this is very tricky. I don't envy the offensive coordinator's situation right now. I think if you're going to do anything, you go to your playmakers. You got to get, do what you do best. But if you're going to go away from that, which they seem to have been in the second half, and try to keep this defense guessing, which is as good a play as any, I think you got to get your quarterback on the move here and just give him time to make a play.
Tallarico's been their deep ball guy. He's guarded by Jacoby McClellan, G-Prep's best defender. That one, a slant route caught over the middle. Lee Colombe with just enough, and a great catch from Colombe on a great ball from Evan Drew. Drew hit there as well. He was looking for a late penalty. Doesn't get one, but it's enough to move the clock. They get across the 50.
Great catch in traffic there by Lee Colombe. And another strike by Evan Drew that seems to be like his best. He's thrown 3 or 4 pretty good slants tonight.
Drew stands in there, takes a big hit after he releases that ball. But it's enough for the 1st down, keeps the drive alive. Drew now back. This time floats it up to the up back. Dustin Johnson puts his head down and picks up a nice gain on 1st down. Evan Drew taking another big hit there, but a lot of confidence in him there to stay in the pocket and deliver that throw.
You're exactly right. Showing a lot of character from the young man right now. That is tough to do, but 2 strikes in a row and taking 2 big hits.
Just right from the backside, Nehemiah Areta comes blindside and hits him, but he's able to float that one to Dustin Johnson. They pick up 9, 4.5. Got to get a big chunk play here, try and score. This time they're going to go on the great curl route. This time it's Ryan Tallarico, puts his foot in the ground, turns around, comes back to the ball. He catches it inside the 30.
Great timing there by the receiver and the quarterback. That's something you really don't see from 2 players that really don't have a lot of repetitions and practice together, but they look like a veteran duo right there.
Seems like a lot of times you get a younger quarterback in this no huddle. They start stringing together some completions, and they start putting the ball on the money. That's exactly what we've seen from Drew.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Sometimes just getting them out of their own head and just letting them play the simple game is best.
Ball's on the 27. Tunnel screen to Lee Colombe. He reverses field now, and that one is tackled for just a short gain. A couple Bullpups on the tackle there. And Nehemiah Areta in on the tackle. Will bring up 2nd down and 7. 4 minutes now. We cross under the 4 mark. 31-16. Prep still on top. Mead going to need 2 scores to get back in this one. 2nd down and 7 from the 26. Drew. Fagau, nobody was on him. Had him wide open. He makes the catch, but he has to fall to the ground to grab it at the 20, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Could have had a one-on-one there. If he gets by that guy with a little bit of a higher throw there, he could have been off to the races.
Well, Drew almost looking like a seasoned vet right now, making what looks like a mock 2-minute drill in the last minute and a half. He's made a lot of good decisions.
You see him pull off right there. He sees the blitz coming off the edge. He throws right at it. Like you said, seasoned vet there. 3.5 minutes left. We'll step aside final minutes of gameplay coming up here. 31-16 your score on SWX. High school football on SWX presented by Inland Power and Light Company, powering our communities since 1997. Got a ball game here at Gonzaga Prep, 31-16. Mead Panthers driving, ball 1 yard outside of the red zone. 3rd down and 4 upcoming. We talked about it. Evan Drews looked probably the best he has all night on this drive, and especially right there. He sees the blitz off the edge and he throws right at it, looking like an NFL guy.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's just taking the candy, just taking what the defense is giving him, and sometimes that's just the check down. And with a guy as good as Fagau, that's not a bad option.
3rd down and a short 4 here, needing the 18 to continue the drive. They go right up the middle to Fagau, and he looks like he's got enough, and he does for the 1st down.
It'll depend on the spot here, maybe, I think.
1st down.
Move the chains.
1st down will stop the clock as well. 3:26. Ideally got to score this one before you hit 2 minutes left in the game. Although Mead does have all 3 timeouts in this one. Clock is running now under 3:15. 1st down from the 18-yard line. Evan Drew Fagau right behind him. Now splits him out to the right. Snap back to Drew, looking for the end zone. Now pressured. He's got to roll out to his left. Avoids a tackle. Now he's going to try and get out of bounds. He does. Shoved down. And there comes the flag. Spencer Paulson gets him out of bounds. And the refs are going to say that's going to be a late hit.
A couple late hits have hurt Prep really badly tonight in some key situations. And another one right there.
And you have such an aggressive defense like Prep does. They're in the backfield immediately. They're chasing and pursuing hard to the sidelines. That time, Evan Drew just gets out of bounds. And then Spencer Paulson, a little extra shove. We're going to say they're discussing it now. And this one should bring them inside the 10-yard line. It will. They're going to mark the ball, I believe, at the 9. It'll be a 1st down and goal now for the Mead Panthers. 3 minutes on the dot. I believe because Drew got out, it'll be a stop clock as well. And there's the call for the late hit.
That's a huge penalty, and really a heads-up play by Drew. I mean, if you have nothing open, either throw the ball out of bounds or get out of bounds. You got to find ways to, stop the clock somehow.
Could have saved a couple seconds there by throwing it out instead of running it, but you pick up 9 yards with the late hit, so definitely what head coach Kyle Snell will take another look at it. Tries to find anybody open, but just off the edge comes Spencer Paulson. He's tracking him the whole way, and then right at the end, it's a really close play. Home crowd didn't like the call, but the ball is sitting at the 9. But it was not enough. A late hit in high school does not give you enough for a 1st down, so it's a 3rd down and inches here from the 9-yard line. They're going to go to Fagau, and he'll have enough for the 1st down. The ball will be spotted at the 6-yard line. Now it's 1st and goal, 2:55 left in the ball game.
Expect Prep to bring some pressure here. They are not going to want Fagau to beat him in this situation. They're going to make you beat you with either on the outside or by the junior quarterback making a play himself.
A couple times we've seen Fagau leak out in this situation on passing plays. This time it's another handoff to Fagau. He's at the 2. He piles his way in for the touchdown. Mead cuts into the lead. 2:33 left. Touchdown. 31-22. Extra point will bring it to an 8.1 possession game. We'll see if they decide to go for the 1 or the 2 here. Believe they're just going to go extra point here to keep themselves alive in a 1 possession game. But what a tough run from Max Fagau to get Mead right back in this one.
That is a tough run. There was no one stopping him from getting over that line.
High pressure moments. They go to their playmaker. Extra point is up and leaning on Fagau all game. Seems like he gets bottled up a couple plays in a row, and then he busts a big one. None bigger than that. From 5 yards out, just puts his head down, gets initial contact at the 3, but just into the end zone. And now we got ourselves a 1 possession game. 2:33 left. They went on an onside kick last time they kicked it. They've had a tough time stopping the Prep offense. Just wonder if they kick deep, they have 3 timeouts, they try and trust the defense, or if they try to go onside again.
Yeah, tough call. I mean, Mead's really showing why they're the #1 offense in the GSL right now. They're having no problem putting up points. 23 against this Prep defense is nothing to bat an eyelash about. But you got to wonder if they're, pinching themselves for using that onside so early in the game that now you're kind of in that situation. Do we just give them the ball back? Do we trust our defense? But I think in this situation, you got to make them march 80 yards down the field and beat you the long way.
This portion of the game brought to you by Perfection Tire and Auto Repair. Nobody beats perfection. Out to kick this one off is Donovan Damiano. They're setting up in the same formation that they have all game. They've gone pooch kick a couple times. This does look like an onside kick. Gonzaga Prep has the hands team out. We'll see if Damiano can get a funky bounce on this one. Kick is on the way. It's a pooch ball straight to the hands of Jack Pierce. He just falls backwards on it. Was trying to kick it off one of the Prep players, but Pierce catches that one in the air, and they'll have the ball right around the 50-yard line. Regardless, Mead was going to have to make a stop. Now it's going to have to be with a short field. 2 minutes and 33 seconds remaining, 8-point ball game. Mead has played exceptionally well to this point. Now they're going to lean on their defense one more time, trying to get a stop over the Bullpups offense.
Well, it's going to come down to guys like Cooper Daines making plays in the backfield early on and getting a 3 and out.
Granger in the backfield with Kincaid. Motion man is Keller. Handoff right up the middle to Jimmy Granger, and that one is stopped for a modest gain of 3.
Do you use your timeout here?
They will. Kyle Snell immediately going to call this one. Believe at this point, even if they get one more first down, they can't quite bleed it out. It's got to be under 2 minutes to do so, but just trying to save every second that they can. So 2:27 remaining, 31-23. It's 2nd and 7. If you're Gonzaga Prep, are you just going to make Mead burn all their timeouts, or do you want to try and maybe get in the air, get the first down, and end the game?
Well, if I'm Prep, I think I'm going to at least make them burn one more. You have the offensive tools to do so. You might even get a couple more yards and make it, an enticing 3rd down. So I would expect the run here. I think Mead's going to follow up with another timeout to stop the clock and give themselves a chance at the end of the game.
We got more football on the way. Tune in to SWX tomorrow for Big Sky football. The Idaho Vandals welcome the Portland State Vikings to the Kibbie Dome. Kickoff set for 1 p.m. It's the Vandals and the Vikings live tomorrow only on SWX, your home for local sports. 2nd and 7. A chance to do whatever you want here if you're the Gonzaga Prep Bullpups. Keep the ball in the hands of Sam Kincaid, and we got a good one tomorrow. Idaho taking on Portland State. Idaho trying to stop a 4-game skid here, but Gonzaga Prep trying to keep their undefeated season alive. Need a couple first downs to do so. They bring Jonah Keller into the backfield. Kincaid takes the snap, rolls right, fakes the pitch. Now he's going to take it himself, and that one stopped for a gain of 1. Another timeout. Kyle Snell comes in. 2:21 left. Snell trying to get the timeout immediately. Takes a couple seconds for the refs to see him. 3rd down and 6, though. And Mead has put Gonzaga Prep in a couple of these long 3rd down and 5+ positions. A lot of times they love to go to Isaiah Dawkin when they're down closer to the end zone. And a lot of the end arounds here to Jonah Keller have been killer.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I'm not surprised to see a run to the edge there and just try to waste at least a couple more seconds off the clock. I'm not sure if it was a designed run for Kincaid or if he just in that kind of zone read as the defensive line was shifting towards the play, but nevertheless put him in an interesting situation here.
So got to have it stop here for the Panthers defense. They've been bending and not breaking all game long, forced a missed field goal. They had a fumble recovery that really turned the momentum in the second quarter. All of that leading to this third down that they got to get a stop. See if Cooper Daines, who's been in the backfield all game long, can come up with a big one here. 3rd down and 6. Kincaid in the backfield. Granger behind him. Jonah Keller, the motion man. Now they bring Keller back behind Kincaid.
This could be for game.
Pitch out to Keller. Mead's got enough guys there. Keller gets out of bounds, and it's a stop, and he goes out, so the clock should stop as well. 2:13. Mead's going to be able to save a timeout, and it's 4th down and 5.
I cannot stress how important it is that they got Keller out of bounds, as well as, of course, getting the stop. But stopping the clock, not having to waste their 3rd timeout, and not letting Prep just waste time while I'm sure they set up for this punt.
Cooper Smith makes the stop there. Looked like the offense was thinking about going for it for a little bit, but they're going to bring out Jacoby McClellan to punt this ball away. Mead's going to bring 2 returners back. It'll be Cooper Smith and Tice Tuggle. 2:13 left, and it looks like Nate Graham didn't like what he was seeing. It'll be a timeout from Prep here. Clock was already stopped. 2:13 left. 4th down and 5. And just an incredible defensive play there. They've run that end around, that pitch. And Jonah Keller a lot of times has had plenty of room to run. That time, though, the Mead safeties come down. Cooper Smith able to tackle him, like you said, get him out of bounds, saves the timeout for the offense.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We'll see what kind of field position they get after this punt return, unless Prep pulls one that's a little tricky and they fake it. But assuming they don't do so, I think what you got to do if you're Mead's offense, you have to design some plays that are going to go towards the sides of the field. You have to find ways to naturally get out of bounds. You only have 1 timeout left. You want to use that at the most crucial spot of this drive. But, of course, move the chains. It's going to be interesting for Evan Drew here.
I was wondering if Mead would maybe want to put some pressure here on this punt, but instead they're going to send 2 return men back. Cooper Smith, and now it's going to be number 8 on Mead. Ryan Tallarico is back there as well. Jacoby McClellan, the punt man. Ball is on the way. They're going to let this one go, and it's a really good punt. Is it going to get out of bounds, or is it going to be stopped by Prep? And that one is going to roll, I believe, into the end zone for a touchback. Gonzaga Prep could have stopped that one. They could have had him at the 1-yard line. Dylan Kroll almost makes a great special teams play. The clock does roll down to 2:02. Take another look at this. Ball's at the 5. Kroll tries to hit it backwards, but he grabs it with his hands and sets his feet at the 1.
Really a perfect punt. You couldn't ask for anything more. I think he just wasn't really sure as he was falling to the end zone if it was going to count for him or not. But his momentum carried him in. He should have just tapped it to his teammates right behind him. But really lucky break for the Mead Panthers in this 2-minute drill that they got coming up. But lucky enough for them as well, they also had kind of a mock run of this a couple minutes ago.
Ball out to the 22:02 left in this one. Fagau split to the right. Evan Drew, junior quarterback, first game starting, and he's tackled for a loss at the 15. A huge sack for Gonzaga Prep. Number 33 on the tackle. Spencer Paulson, been doing it all game. He gets home this time. Lucky to hang on to the ball. There's Evan Drew, and they got to go quickly. 1:40 and counting here on the clock. He's back on the ball. Drew takes the snap. Paulson out there again, looking for a hold on the Prep fans. Ball thrown up and intercepted. Andrew Yarno slides down at the 27, and that should do it. Evan Drew rolls out, picked off by Andrew Yarno. Prep sidelines can feel an 8-0 start to the season.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be the ball game. He had a man open, but Prep's Yarno play on the ball. I just don't think running outside of the pocket that he saw him floating over there. A little bit behind him.
Trying to go to Cooper Smith there on the crossing route. Throwing on the run there was Drew. And now Sam Kincaid and the offense will come back out here. Don't believe they're quite in victory formation yet, but they should be able to kneel this one out the way that the timing from the clock goes. Keller goes into the backfield. Kincaid takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Keller, puts his head down, goes forward for a gain of 4. Should see the last timeout come here from Mead.
Yep.
And we will. Minute 21 left in this one. You can burn 40 seconds each time you snap it, so that if they can burn just 1 second while they're running the actual play, they should be able to bleed this one out before fourth down.
Looks like Dawkin maybe rolled an ankle coming off that sideline. That's going to be something that Prep's going to want to take care of coming into the end of the season here. I'd hate to see a guy of that talent go down at the end of a game.
On a play he was not needed on, looks like he is going to the sideline. Jonah Keller puts his head down there, gains about 4. Minute 21 left, Prep up 8. They should be able to bleed this clock out. Mead now, I believe, out of timeouts. Ball sitting at the 24-yard line. Isaiah Dawkin going to stay off the field for this next play. And now they'll come into victory formation. Kincaid going to be able to snap it, maybe take 1 step back to burn an extra second, then should be 2 kneel outs away from ending this game. Kincaid takes it, stops that one, a minute 19. It'll now roll for 40, and they should be able to burn it out. Gonzaga Prep going to improve to 8-0 on the season. Mead drops to 5-3. An incredible outing from Mead, an incredible outing from quarterback Evan Drew in his first start with the Panthers. Back in this one, down 17-0. Stayed calm, had good command of the offense, gets it to 17-10, and then they trade a couple touchdowns back and forth. Prep eventually with the final blow there, the interception to seal it late.
Yeah, with their starting quarterback out, that's a tall task for any backup to come in to this environment on this field and play such a good Prep team, probably one of the better ones we've seen in recent memory. But both coaches, I think, can come away with this. Even I'm not a huge fan of moral victories, but a lot to work on both sides, but a lot of good things to build on, I think, for both teams.
One more snap of the football will do it here from Gonzaga Prep. Sam Kincaid goes under center, takes the knee, and that one will end the football game. 31-23 will be your final score. In the second half, it really seemed like all Prep had to do was trade punches with Mead. Mead throwing everything they could at the Bullpups, but they're able to weather the storm and come out on top, improve to 8-0 on the season.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Teams shaken up here as this one comes to a close. Sam Kincaid throws 2 touchdowns. Both of them end up going to Isaiah Dawkin. Dawkin rattled and shaken up a little bit on that last play there, but I believe he should be okay as he gets in the hands line. Now time to talk about our player of the game, presented by Findlay Toyota on 3rd Street. If you're looking to score the best deals on your favorite Toyotas, come to Findlay. A lot of players on Gonzaga Prep that could have been given the honor here, but we're going to go with Isaiah Dawkin. Grant, just when they needed him most there, a couple 3rd downs in the red zone, they go to their receiver, and he makes it happen.
Yeah, we've seen it in a number of games this year, just throwing up a jump ball to him. Really excellent technique, just get both feet down. That would be a good touchdown in college. He's got a lot of intangibles that are hard to teach, and he had a great game tonight.
Gets both feet in on that first one. Does it again late in the game, almost a mirror image, as Dawkin is your SWX player of the game. 31-23, Gonzaga Prep comes out with the win. It's their last home game of the season. It was senior night tonight, so the seniors are going to end their time here on the Gonzaga Prep football field with a win. Mead, on the other hand, they dropped to 5-3, still in the hunt for the playoffs as they're in 4th place in the GSL. And definitely plenty to be proud of there from Evan Drew. An impressive game throughout. Isaiah Dawkin got the scoring started, and he scored the last touchdown as well. Had a punt block for a touchdown as well for Gonzaga Prep. They're going to get away with a 31-23 win over the Mead Panthers. For Grant Hannon, I'm Grady Glover, our entire SWX crew. Thanks so much for listening. We got high school football coming up next week, and Idaho against Portland State coming up tomorrow on SWX.